Imagine a summoned beast so pathetic the whole world absolutely loathes it. But the second I called it forth, I hugged it with pure joy. I smothered it in kisses while my classmates laughed their heads off. One by one, they started calling me a total loser. Even my teacher, who once hyped me up, started spitting insults. He claimed every cent spent on me was a complete waste of time. I just kept grinning like a maniac and stayed dead silent. Instead, I pawned every single thing I owned for some quick cash. I bought 100 pounds of beast meat to trigger its hidden power. I patted its tiny head, and ding, the contract notification finally flashed. Loyalty never betrays. Initiating the life-bound soul link right now. Without blinking, I smashed that yes button immediately. Soul-shredding agony hit me, and I screamed like a total banshee. I hit the floor hard, and everyone thought I'd finally snapped. The insults flew until the school goddess, Lu Ruan, stepped up. With a fake-looking pout, she whispered, "Look, I am so sorry. This exam is our only shot at climbing the social ladder. Luang the Spear Knight wants to duo, so you are on your own." I stood up, dusted myself off, and simply said, "No problem." My casual, short reply totally caught her off guard. Her prepared speech died as she realized I did not even care. She huffed, turned her back, and walked away without looking back. Another girl nearby shot me a look of pure, filtered disgust. She sneered, "He is clearly just acting tough for attention now. Ruan, stop apologizing. You literally did nothing wrong to him. All he can summon is a tiny, palm-sized black puppy. What makes this loser think he is even in your league?" But I did not give those two a single second of my time. As the Soul Link finalized, I discovered a massive, game-changing secret. This little pup had awakened the SSS rank talent, Gluttonous Greed. It turns anything it eats into raw energy for unlimited growth. It shatters every evolution limit. Every ounce of pain was worth it. SSS rank holders are rarer than diamonds in this entire country. Every time one pops up, the whole nation provides elite protection. And for good reason, their power is straight up terrifying in God tier. I grabbed the little black pup and held it eye to eye. "Your name is Hei Ming now. Let us show them, partner." Hei Ming licked my face, beaming as I tossed him some meat. In the blink of an eye, the meat was totally gone. Low-grade meat consumed. Purification value increased by 0.5. Hey, Ming's body expanded as his base stats jumped by 1 point. If he eats more, there is no telling how high he will climb. My heart hammered as my own power began to surge too. I dropped 6,000 for 100 pounds of mutant beast meat. With a single thought, I summoned Hei Ming to the massive feast. A primal hunger roared. Hei Ming's jaws snapped shut on the mutant meat. Every bite of monster flesh was instantly forged into raw, explosive power. Waves of energy blasted through Hei Ming as he devoured the buffet. His frame expanded rapidly. I felt a wild surge within myself too. Improvements crackled through me. 30 minutes later, the transformation peaked at last. Hei Ming hit 2 meters tall. My own stats jumped 10 points. Those numbers would make even the top-class elites turn green with envy. This cheat-tier growth was exactly what I needed to outrun everyone else. The gap was vanishing. Without hesitation, I made my big move. I smashed that evolution button. Let the real chaos begin now. The system chimed. A terrifying ancient power pulsed from his very core. Pitch-black energy exploded outward, swallowing everything in its dark, swirling path. Cells shattered and remade. His DNA was rewriting itself for God-tier existence. Success! My Shadow Beast had finally transcended his old pathetic limits. He unlocked Rend and Gigantification. Such an overpowered and massive upgrade. Size tripled, strength and defense skyrocketed by 300%. Absolute beast. Speed dropped halfway, but every stat smashed past 50. Level 1 madness. 50 points at level 1? That is just straight up broken. Insane. Even legendary top-tier beasts look like kittens compared to his raw power. Beast rankings go from low to top tier, decided by their innate talent. S rank is high tier, but SS rank? That is the stuff of actual legends. An SS rank talent had literally never been seen before in our history. We headed home to crash. Tomorrow's exam was the real deal. Rest. Morning came. The plaza was crawling with nervous examinees ready to fight. Teacher Luen was barking out orders about the dungeon. Everyone felt tense. Pay attention. One wrong move in there and it is game over. Top schools were clashing. The atmosphere was thick with ego and anxiety. Even Luang, usually so cocky, was now basically swimming in cold sweat. "Hey, loser, still showing up?" Ye Zhao sneered. "Just quit before crying. Don't embarrass yourself, Chenlin." Ye Zhao barked with his voice dripping arrogance. Beside him stood Lu Ru Yan, looking regal in her high-end robes. They were a team of elites, but I did not even glance. A bell tolled. Massive bronze gates slowly groaned open like hungry mouths. A wave of freezing air spilled out, making everyone's hair stand up. No more talking. Everyone scrambled to check their assigned dungeon info now. Crap. Burial Bone Forest? That place is a literal graveyard for rookies. It had the highest failure rate. Our school's luck was total trash. Quiet down. All dungeons are hard, a rival student scoffed. Stop whining. Third High got the easy map. You guys should just keep quiet. Teacher Lewin's face was grim. Burial Bone Forest is no joke, kids. The terrain is a nightmare. Dense brush means monsters are hiding everywhere. Watch your back. Ambushes can come from anywhere in those dark woods. Be ready. Then Lewin pulled out a high-tech machinist points recorder device. This wristwatch tracks your kills. Your score goes live to the world. Final bell. The bell chimed like a call to war, signaling the official start. Draped in white armor, a silver-haired goddess stepped into the dungeon first. That is Su Ling Shu from Third High. She is going solo. Solo means more points. Only the real legends walk this path alone. The stadium erupted. Thousands of fans were buzzing with pure, chaotic hype. Everyone was betting on the elites, but I had my own vibe. One mental link, and boom, a white flash snatched me away instantly. I chose the solo grind too. Now the real survival game begins. A level 20 pro raised his hand, commanding the magical flow overhead. Massive water screens flickered to life, broadcasting our life or death struggle live. Suddenly, a total fail. Some weakling from Second High tapped out immediately. His teachers buried their faces in shame. Talk about a major buzzkill. With the world watching, Principal Liang Shi looked absolutely murderous. He stared at the screen in silence. Then, the camera shifted again. A lone guy was trekking through the deep, dangerous woods on screen, surveying the danger with ice-cold eyes. It was finally my time. The judges gasped. Solo? Did a hidden boss wake up yesterday? Was this kid some secret weapon from the class awakening ceremony? My teacher, Lu En, was speechless. He was completely and utterly baffled. He thought I was just a basic summoner. Oh, how wrong. Inside that hellscape, I snapped awake and scanned the deadly green surroundings. Thud! Something heavy was falling from the canopy right above my head. Zero hesitation. I summoned my massive staff in a single heartbeat. A venomous serpent, thick as a barrel, lunged from the shadows suddenly. Its maw split wide, revealing a throat full of terrifying, jagged fangs. I gripped my weapon, and a flash of pure white light erupted. The beam pierced the beast's skull in a fraction of a second. The serpent was sliced clean through, hitting the dirt like garbage. System. Venom Fang Worm eliminated. 1 shot, 1 kill. You have officially gained 5 experience points. At that same moment, my wrist device chimed. Notification. Score increased by 15. Outside, the entire audience just froze. Wait, is he really a summoner? That reaction speed is totally cracked. Those stats belong to a high-level assassin, not some rookie mage. Even Lu En was tripping. My training was good, but this was a whole different level of savage power on display today. I didn't stop to celebrate. I headed deeper into the forest heart. Suddenly, a hideous shriek rang out. Green monsters crawled from shadows. Goblins. The nastiest, most territorial pests in the entire combat textbook. They breed like crazy and eat anything, including their own kind. I counted 60 of them. A green wave ready to drown me. Getting swarmed means death. So, I called my secret weapon. Hey Ming, wake up! In an instant, the world turned white. A legendary wolf's howl tore through the air, shaking the trees. My shadow wolf glared at the goblin mob, eyes burning cold, his limbs tensed, ready to hunt. He blasted forward like a lethal projectile. The lead goblin's skull instantly vaporized on impact. The surrounding monsters shrieked, desperately swinging their rusty blades with murderous intent. But as those jagged edges slammed into Heiming's iron-hard hide, they shattered into useless fragments. Heiming lashed out with a bone-crushing strike, painting the floor red. Abandoning all defense, my beast became a hurricane of pure carnage, tearing through them like wet paper. These brainless monsters finally felt it true, primal terror rattling their bones. Their assault broke instantly, replaced by a desperate, pathetic scramble for survival. Thinking of leaving? Too late. I smirked, commanding Heiming's relentless pursuit, while I dove into the fray myself, reaping souls with cold efficiency. Outside the dungeon, the massive viewing screens exploded into pure chaos. Wait, since when did our school hide a monster like this? His summon is a beast, but the guy is fighting like a god. The gallery was electric. Underclassmen were losing their minds, screaming in hype. Just 10 minutes ago, they all thought I was a dead man walking. They'd written me off as an early elimination, a total nobody. Yet here we are, standing over a mountain of green corpses, watching the slaughter. Principal Lin Shi's eyes burned with newfound hope. This speed, this power. That's B-rank talent at the very least. And a growth type? His ceiling is as high as the heavens. Second High finally has a genius who can shake the world. He spun around, urgency in his voice. Check Chen Lin's current score. The assistant checked the live data. Sir, he's sitting at 560. He's officially #1 in our school. But there's a problem at Third High. Su Xuer has 830 points. She's an absolute monster. The teachers froze, the air growing cold. That gap was massive. It hadn't even been 20 minutes since the dungeon gates opened. She was already gunning for the top spot in the entire province. Back inside the abyss, shimmering orbs of light drifted from the corpses. They surged into me like a tidal wave. Level up achieved. Level 2 achieved. But only 5 points to my stats? Talk about stingy. That's the curse of an ordinary class. The stats just don't scale. Keep this up, and the gap between me and the elites becomes a canyon. But I have a secret weapon. Heiming's power feedback will bridge that gap. I've already secured a passing score for the top academies. Easy. But just passing is for losers. I'm aiming for the throne. Nearby, Heiming was busily snacking on the remains of our enemies. Heiming, pack it up. The real massacre is about to begin. Goblins are like roaches where there's one, a nest is hiding nearby. 10 minutes of silence followed. Not a single monster in sight. That silence confirmed it. This isn't just some virtual game world. This dungeon is a living, breathing ecosystem with its own brutal laws. No respawns, no mercy, just the cold, hard logic of natural selection. Whiz! Jagged bone spears suddenly rained down from the canopy above. Goblins swarmed from the shadows, their feral howls signaling an ambush. They charged, screaming like lunatics. Me, I just stayed cool. Zero fear. My staff clicked, transforming into a lethal blade. One goblin down. I became a one-man wrecking crew. Slicing through these weaklings felt like cutting through warm butter. Every dodge was a setup. Every strike was a funeral. Call me a butterfly, but my wings are made of death. The crowd went wild. This wasn't combat, it was pure art. Teachers and students stood frozen, their jaws hitting the floor. Total disbelief. They had never seen anything this clean before. My swordsmanship was flawless, a masterclass in lethal elegance. Precise throat slits only. Not a single millimeter was wasted. Every other screen was ignored. I was the main event. Thousands of eyes were glued to my every move. Lewin looked shaken. He never knew I could actually hunt. Guess my secret is out. This might be a problem. Level 6 berserkers. 13 of them. This just got spicy. Fire and frost variants too? Talk about a deadly party. Soloing a nest is crazy, they said. Well, watch me. The monsters rallied, finally showing a bit of actual brain power. Their attacks grew organized. Cute. Let us see what they got. Flame goblins started their chant, tossing fireballs like lethal confetti. I danced through the heat. Too slow. Way too slow. They tried to swarm me, thinking they found an opening. A spear grazed my ear. I just grabbed the thrower. I used that ugly runt as a meat shield. Boom! Fire met flesh. The explosion was honestly quite beautiful. I started playing fetch with goblins, using them as missiles. You can do that? The audience was absolutely losing it. Even Lewin was stunned. His face was pure comedy. Pretty sure this move was not in his boring textbook. The flamecasters were panicking. Their own spells were backfiring. Cast and hit friends or do not cast and die. Heiming jumped in, shredding the backline like a total pro. Out of 100, only a few lucky rats remained. I let them run. A total wipeout would be boring. I followed them at a casual pace. Lead me home. The trail led deep into a dark, jagged mountain cave. Ambush! Green monsters dropped from the ceiling like rain. My grip tightened. One swing, one clean arc of death. Heads rolled. Body parts hit the cold stone floor. Heiming caught the rest mid-air. Talk about a snack. A satisfying crunch later, the cavern lit up with torches. Thousands of them. My smug smirk finally started to fade. Time to move. Wall-to-wall monsters were crawling toward me. Things just went from fun to extremely dangerous. Time to get big. Ming's body swells at a terrifying speed. He rockets forward, pulverizing the goblin swarm in mid-air. Goblins fly everywhere. Ming is a one-beast wrecking crew. One massive paw slams down, crushing them into bloody pulp. Bodies burst into gore. Suddenly, a primal roar erupts. A nightmare emerges, massive, fur-clad, and built like granite. A building-sized titan glares at us with murderous red fury. It's a boss. The troll launches a thunderous, lethal charge. The cavern shakes. The world is literally coming apart. Ground trembles. Heiming charges straight into the teeth. Zero fear. Black light flickers across his razor-sharp claws. Claws meet flesh, carving deep gashes into the giant beast. The pain fuels the troll's rage. It goes completely berserk. Giant hands seize Heiming's head and slam it hard. Legs buckle. Blood spatters from the corner of his mouth. He howls in pain. Seeing him dominated, I finally snap. Enhancement arts. Activate. All attributes up 20%. A divine white glow ignites across Hei Ming's battered body. He hurls the troll off, sending it crashing down. He sinks his teeth in, tearing away raw monster flesh. The troll's eyes turn crimson bloodlust mode. It's all-out war. They lock together in a frenzied, savage, and bloody exchange. I'm multitasking, buffing with one hand, healing with another. The roar echoes for miles. Nearby students stop dead. Burial Bone Forest bosses are level 12 walking nightmares. Who is crazy enough to fight a boss solo? A trio arrives, hoping to steal some easy experience. They freeze in shock. The scene is pure, unadulterated carnage. This isn't a team raid, it's just one guy. I drive my blade home. The final blow lands. Health bar hits 0. The Titan falls silent forever. Nobody dares move. Even the Lu siblings are terrified. That little wolf. He's become a god in one day. The elites arrive, led by the smug Xiao Huiyang. Impressive, he smiles. Didn't know you had it in you. Your beast looks rough. Want us to help heal it? Our holy pastor can patch up your little pet. His teammate kicks him before he can finish talking. I flash a cold smile. No thanks. We're perfectly fine. They turn to leave, but then they see it. My score. 5,320 points. Lu Ruyan approaches, blushing ready to play nice. But Hei Ming's blood-red eyes stare her down coldly. She feels an icy abyss. Her legs turn to jelly. I don't even look back. Winners don't do drama. Phew, that girl's warmth was a dangerous trap. Time to lock in and hide back underground. Hei Ming was on a strict diet of absolute carnage to reach his peak form. After devouring every beast in sight, a radiant energy cocoon swallowed my partner whole. This transformation felt way more intense than that snack-fueled evolution from earlier. Whatever beast crawls out of there is going to be an absolute menace on the battlefield. Suddenly, wicked claws shredded through the light. My boy Hei Ming was finally back. He emerged massive, eyes glowing with a cold, blue, and terrifyingly royal intensity. Total level up. New skills unlocked. Intimidate and flame. His raw talent just skyrocketed. A complete tear jump. This wasn't just a glow-up, it was a total rebirth. Clock's ticking. Only 1 hour left. I hopped on my beast to hunt more prey. We went looking for trouble. 10 minutes in, we found the ultimate boss fight. Level 15 Twisted Tree King territory. This thing is the literal king of the woods. Watching from the screens, Ling Ji's face went pale. He thought I was suicidal. This Tree King's stats made that troll look like a total pushover in comparison. I'm level 4, and he's level 15? Yeah, that power gap is completely insane. Pulling this off would make me a legendary freak of nature nationwide. The second I stepped onto the mud, the whole forest decided it wanted me dead. Blood-red eyes popped open everywhere. Those massive tree trunks started splitting apart like monsters. Wood groaned and snapped. The roots tore themselves out of the earth with violent force. A million wooden spears lunged at me. Fear? Nah, I don't speak that language. I charged right in. My blade was out before they even knew I'd moved. 5 lightning-fast strikes left ghost images in the air. Those trees never stood a chance. Severed branches rained down. My gaze went icy as I targeted the nearest spirit. 3 quick steps and I was in range. My steel dove deep into its face. I rammed the sword down its throat. Sickly sap exploded everywhere like a fountain. Its health bar hit 0 instantly. Timber! The giant monster collapsed into the dirt. The rest of the forest got pissed. They showed their thorns and started swarming. Surrounded? Please. Hei Ming let out a roar that shook the very ground. With one massive swipe, he shredded a tree spirit like it was wet cardboard. Boom. Cursed black flames erupted, turning Hei Ming into a walking inferno of shadows. The fire jumped from tree to tree, spreading like a deadly viral infection. The monsters shrieked and twisted in agony. They were panicking, but it was too late. Those dark embers are impossible to extinguish. They're basically hellfire on a budget. They were literally eating the spirits alive. Even I was like, whoa, chill out. I didn't expect this new fire skill to be such a massive cheat code. The forest turned into a graveyard of ash. My black fire was absolutely ruthless. The shadows pulled back into Hei Ming. No need for messy eating this time. The flames just digested the energy for him. Talk about peak efficiency and power. We soaked up the experience points instantly. Both of us hit a new level. My score just skyrocketed to 7,120 points. Pure insanity. Suddenly, the floor exploded. Massive golden branches burst out like deadly snakes. They coiled together, forming a giant cage. Then, a bone-chilling screech echoed everywhere. The real boss was coming. Hundreds of tree spirits bowed as he arrived. A 100-meter-tall behemoth stomped into view. This was the legendary Tree King itself. It moved like a mountain. I took a slow step back. Time to get serious. My stats finally hit 50, but playing hero is still suicide. I knew my limits. Being reckless is a one-way ticket down. Hey Ming, wreck them. Let the summon handle the big boys. Rage flared in Hey Ming's eyes as black flames erupted. He charged the Tree King, transforming into a total beast. Dark fire consumed everything, leaving tree spirits screaming in agony. I hung back, waiting to execute the pathetic, weak stragglers. Watching his kin burn, the Tree King let out a roar. Golden branches lashed out, trying to impale my beast everywhere. Hey Ming ignored defense, sprinting straight for the boss's throat. Dark energy coated his claws like obsidian blades of death. He tore through bark, shredding the king's ancient body. The massive monster shrieked as its defense was ripped away. Branches swarmed from every angle, but Hey Ming didn't flinch. His ironclad defense held firm as he kept up the pressure. Black fire climbed upward, and the Tree King felt true terror. It felt its soul being gnawed away bit by bit. The monster tried to flee, but Hey Ming roared louder. Dark fire coiled like chains, pinning the beast in place. The assault became even more savage. There was no escape. The backup team arrived and just froze, completely stunned. A level 15 second tier boss was getting absolutely crushed. Honestly, even I was surprised by this one-sided massacre. With a massive crash, the Tree King finally fell dead. I hit level 8 as white light enveloped my body. 3,000 points added. This is getting way too easy. I left the remaining trash for the others to finish. Shanshan stood there speechless, her jaw hitting the floor. Farming points like this felt like using a cheat code. We passed the Elite Academy requirements in just 5 minutes. Huayang whispered that Chenlin's summon was a literal nightmare. The intimidation was insane. The spirits were too scared to fight. The black flames receded back into He Ming's massive frame. In his normal form, he stood 7 meters tall now. My attributes broke 70, making me a total powerhouse. Level 10 reached. This exam was officially my playground. The dungeon began force teleporting everyone back to the plaza. Students appeared in flashes of light as the crowd cheered. He Ming stood beside me like a silent, imposing god. He took first place. The teachers were screaming with joy. 3 talents and insane raw power? This kid is legendary. No summoner has ever dominated a trial like this before. Luen, you've raised a absolute monster of a student. Let's go. We're giving Chenlin a king's welcome right now. The principal grabbed the staff, unable to hide his excitement. I kept moving. Lu Ruan stood there, her face pale as a ghost. Getting dumped an hour ago meant kissing those elite academies goodbye. To her, I'm the villain. But my beast? It was never weak. She didn't know. If she had, she'd have never ditched me. Regret turned into pure venom in her eyes. Salt levels, critical. Meanwhile, Suling Shu was the center of a VIP teacher huddle. Principal and staff were gushing. Second High really hit the jackpot. Talk about a miracle. A talent like this? Total game changer. 19,500? Kid, don't be humble. That's insane. She just smiled, totally chill. Then her eyes drifted toward me. She looked curious, watching Second High with a thoughtful gaze. Suddenly, the big leagues updated. The provincial rankings were live. Rank 1? Me, obviously. Heiming is just on another level entirely. My beast has no ceiling. Every evolution makes it more terrifying. Power scaling? Off the charts. I was already hyped for more. I headed home to share the hype with Mom and Sis. 1 million credits for rank 1? Yeah, the check finally cleared. No more scraping by. Mom and Sis are living large now. Life just got an upgrade. Now, time for my first Transcendence. Back in my room, the real challenge began. Destination, dungeon. It's a random dungeon draw. I stared at the prompt, ready. 1 click, 0 hesitation. I vanished into the digital void. Boom. ID 08694. A world bleeding out. On the brink of death. Humanity's last ember is flickering. Total collapse is just minutes away. Save them or break them? The choice is mine. Pick one. Mission 1. Slay 1,000 beasts. Be the hero. Save lives. Mission 2. Help the mother beast devour everything. Go full villain. 24 hours. 10 players. 0 rules. This is gonna be wild. No turning back. I dropped right into a concrete graveyard. Oof. Rubble everywhere. I chose Mission 1 without blinking. Hero time, baby. She devours everything? Please. She hasn't met my beast yet. Fight! Suddenly, glass shattered. Someone just got tossed through a storefront window. A girl tumbled out, covered in glass. This party's getting started early. A skinless freak darted from the shadows, hungry for a snack. It lunged at the girl. Fast. Deadly. A literal nightmare on legs. She reached for a blade, but the monster was faster. Lights out? Death stared her down. She crossed her arms, praying for mercy. Schwing. A flash of sword light sliced through the dirty air. Off with its head, the beast folded like a lawn chair. I looked at the shell-shocked girl. Relax, I said. I'm Chen Lin. I'm Lu, she stammered. I had questions, but then, chaos struck. A voice screamed in the distance, Retreat! Get out of here now! Lu turned pale. She grabbed my arm, dragging me away. Run! Move or we're dead! Then, the world literally threw a car. A car came flying at us. I yanked Lu back. Incoming! Hang on! Staff up. I braced for the hit, but the impact was like a freight train. The force was insane. I skidded back 10 meters before my boots finally caught. Xiao Yu's face went ghost white. She ignored her own pain and came sprinting over. You okay? I shook off the internal shock and locked in. Look at that. A two-legged freak covered in jagged, nasty-looking spines. That's a blade demon. We aren't outrunning that thing. Xiao Yu whispered, terrified. She looked dead serious, her hand white-knuckling her knife hilt. The demon didn't wait. It closed the gap with terrifying, inhuman speed. Suddenly, the ground dipped. Before Xiao Yu could blink, a shadow blurred past. My blade was out. I charged that monster head-on, pure adrenaline. Clang! Steel met those razor-sharp claws with a deafening ring. The demon shrieked, swinging its other arm at my skull. I shoved back. Give me your knife, I barked. One blade wasn't going to be enough. Xiao Yu didn't hesitate. She tossed the hilt straight into my waiting hand. Bloodlust flared in my eyes. The demon sensed the challenge and lunged. Its arms were a whirlwind of death. But me? I didn't even flinch. Knife in the left, sword in the right. Time to dance. We traded dozens of blows in seconds. It was just a blur of afterimages. 1,000 exchanges later, I spotted it the perfect opening in its guard. I tilted my head, grazing a lethal strike, then drove my knife upward. The edge sliced clean through the demon's arm like it was nothing. Before it could scream, my sword pierced its heart, punching right through. Xiao Yu limped over, clutching her bruised hand in total, speechless shock. You're not from this world, are you? I just gave her a smirk. Care to fill me in on this hellhole? I asked, looking around. It's the miasma, she sighed. It had been a month of pure nightmare. People were breaking, losing their minds and turning into mindless killing machines. Now the miasma was evolving, twisting the very mountains and the rivers. Blades, nature, everything was corrupted. Humanity was just waiting for the end. I got the picture. This world was a mess. Then, footsteps echoed nearby. A dozen survivors rounded the corner, faces twisted in absolute raw panic. A tall woman led the pack, screaming, Xiao Yu, run! Get out of here! Before she could finish, the ground started to rumble like a coming flood. Crimson energy swirled overhead, a dark cloud of pure impending doom. Monsters appeared on every rooftop, hundreds of bloodthirsty eyes locked onto us. That red energy formed a wall, trapping us all like rats in a cage. Everyone swallowed hard. Luolu grabbed Xiao Yu, looking ready for a last stand. Stay close to me, she yelled, then spared me a quick, dismissive glance. She thought I was just some random stray. I didn't care. I just kept walking forward, calm as a lake. Hey, stop! Are you crazy? Luolu screamed that we were surrounded, that I shouldn't play the hero. I just smiled. Nah, they aren't surrounding me. I'm surrounding them. Look at all these disaster beasts. If I clear them, my rank skyrockets. Watch and learn, guys. Time to show this world how a pro does it. All right, system, let's get to work. Hey, Ming. Watch the show. Boom! A white flash erupts and 7-meter Hemming arrives, his roar literally cracking the sky. Hemming's icy gaze sweeps over the sea of disaster beasts like they are total trash. Time for a level up. He explodes to 28 meters, towering over the entire skyline. Buildings look like toys now. Hemming launches forward with primal, explosive, and absolute power. The earth literally shatters under him, spiderwebbing into a total disaster zone in seconds. He is a living missile. Hemming slams into the monsters, turning them into street pizza. Pure, searing heat erupts. Those disaster beasts do not stand a chance. They are toast. The survivors? Their jaws hit the floor. This beast is on another level entirely. Plot twist. A dozen monsters decide I am the target. Talk about bad life choices. Watch out! Lu screams, trying to jump in, but she is way too slow here. She freezes. I am not running away. I am moving in for the ultimate kill streak. 1 sword, 1 knife, and 0 regrets. I am slicing through these freaks like butter. Flash, bang, done. In a heartbeat, the whole pack is nothing but monster scraps. Lu is just staring. She cannot believe her eyes. How is he this incredibly clean? 0 miasma corruption? That makes no sense. He should be a weakling, not a god. Then it hits her. 6 months ago, she met some clean powerhouses just like him. They were powerful, uncorrupted, and spoiler alert, absolute jerks to every survivor they met. Those elitists trashed the hidden base, leaving everyone as snacks for the hungry monsters. Pure cruelty. They literally watched people die and laughed while they did it. They even broke their legs so they could not run. Talk about serious villain energy. Trash, like you, does not belong near me. That cold, arrogant line still haunts her. Lualu cannot shake the trauma, but Lu steps in to defend my hero honor. Chenlin is different. He saved me twice. Lu is not taking any of that doubt. Luolu takes a shaky breath, the old hatred still burning deep in her scarred soul. Just stay away from him. He is currently the bait for every monster nearby. Let us move while he is busy. But fate decides to drop a lightning bolt. Boom. Out of nowhere, a massive lightning strike blocks our path. No entry allowed. Forbidden zone, kids. A blonde guy with a magic book steps off a skyscraper. He looks like a classic anime trope, chanting spells while lightning spheres start dancing. My instincts scream. I shift gears instantly, swinging my heavy knife to the side. Clang! A hidden dagger bites into my blade. Sneaky, but not nearly sneaky enough. A gorgeous assassin materializes. She is pretty, but she is definitely trying to kill me. No mercy. I swing my sword at her waist, ready to end this dance. Poof! She is a ghost. She teleports 30 meters away without even breaking a sweat. I am not letting her go. I launch myself off the ground, charging her down. The girl panics. Are you going to help or just watch? She screams out loud. Right on cue, a tidal wave of fire blasts out from a nearby building. Two forces collide. Sparks fly everywhere as the battlefield turns into a literal oven. A summoner? Seriously? The giant fire guy grunts, totally shocked I am this strong. He vents more flames at me, but I am cold as ice. Let us dance. I slam my blade into him, knocking his big ego back a few steps. Suddenly, 4 more players step out of the shadows. Great. A whole party. Usually, Transcendence dungeons ban player killing. It is the ultimate rule for any explorer. Break it, and you are dead meat. But faction-run dungeons, rules do not apply there. To think some arrogant punks would actually try to pull this move on me. So, mission 1 it is. Did no one teach you guys how to survive a dungeon crawl? You gotta pick the right side if you don't want to end up as Monster Chow. It is obvious. The disaster beasts are the winning team. Even a dummy knows that. But these 6 clowns are staring at me like I am some lost snack. They think they trapped me? Please. Have any of you ever heard that classic saying, the best hunters always look like helpless bait? Did you really think I was just making a scene for fun? I wanted you right here. Now, about those plans. You all talked a big game earlier, so, as a special reward for your noise, I am inviting you to your own funeral. Ready to die? My grin says it all. The table is set and the snacks are served. Time for Heiming to feast. A brutal roar shakes the world. Black flames erupt, stretching for hundreds of meters, spiraling into my giant black wolf. Suddenly, he is hitting a massive growth spurt, 8 meters taller and looking absolutely terrifying. In a heartbeat, everyone there felt chills down their spines. Pure, unadulterated dread hits them like a heavy truck. Heiming charges. Ice-cold terror shoots from their toes straight to their panicked brains. Their systems are failing. This is absolute nightmare fuel in real time for them. The fear is crushing their tiny minds. As Heiming's massive, shadow-slicked claws come crashing down, 3 of them barely snap out of it to run. The last poor loser? Yeah, he was not fast enough to escape the teeth. No scream, just rip. Heiming literally shreds him. Talk about a bloody mess. The survivors are sweating bullets now. This was definitely not in the brochure. They thought they could just keep the summoned beast away and be fine. But surprise! This summoner fights like a final boss, too. Totally unfair, right? It gets worse. My big bad wolf is not just some brainless heavy hitter. He has got the moves and the crowd control. He is basically a cheat code. Forget surviving. Not getting wiped out in 3 minutes would be a total miracle. Heiming lunges for the closest victim. The golden-haired guy panics instantly, gritting his teeth while chanting some fancy high-level magic gibberish. Lightning explodes everywhere, forming massive chains 1/2 meter thick in a flash. They coil around Heiming's neck and legs like glowing electric snakes. Strike now! I can only hold this beast for 10 seconds, he screams out. But before he even finishes his sentence, Heiming just flexes his muscles. Snap! Those chains turn into glitter. The guy's jaw literally hits the floor. Impossible. That was my rank 1 talent. He is totally losing his mind. I just smirk. With my enhancement buffs, Heiming's power is through the roof. His level just spiked. The whole team realizes they are in deep trouble now. Gloves off. Everyone is spamming their ultimate hidden trump cards like crazy. The girl goes shadow mode, trying to gank me from every single angle. Then bam! A storm of ice shards rains down on her head out of nowhere, pushing her back. Here comes the Ice Queen with the long blue hair. She is walking in like she owns the place, freezing the ground with every step. Any monster getting close? Instant popsicle. No exceptions for these weaklings. I have got this one, she says coolly. Then the hulking man charges in. He is a literal fireball. The remaining 3 dive in for the kill, hoping to burst me down in one shot. But just then, a roar shattered the silence. Hey, losers, eyes on me. Heads whipped around instantly, all eyes locked onto the massive tank standing there. Shield raised high. Suddenly, a colossal dark wolf manifested right behind them. Blinded by pure rage, they didn't see it. One lethal claw swipe later. 3 guys, 12 pieces. Total carnage. Hey, Ming wheeled around. His talons smashed a building. Concrete rain and shrapnel exploded through the air, shredding her clothes and piercing skin. Hey Ming lunged forward with killer intent. Claws up, strike down. Cursed black flames consumed her entire body. Suddenly, a sub-zero blast erupted nearby. Every skyscraper and soul turned to glass. A frozen wasteland in seconds. The mountain of a man stood like a statue. 7 hunters entered, 1 survived. Our bloodthirsty gazes shifted simultaneously. All eyes on Goldie. His face went ghostly white in record time. He threw a final lightning storm, then bolted like a total coward. I danced through the bolts. My blade sang as it cut the air. Oops! Goldie's hand and head just signed a permanent divorce from his torso. I turned back. So, what's the deal with this disaster matriarch thing? Lou explained. She's the alpha evolved from millions of nightmare beasts. A sentient monster reborn. You actually planning to hunt that thing down? I nodded. Only her head guarantees me that sweet maximum rank score. Plus, she's the only chance this dying world has left for salvation. Just then, Su Lingshu approached. Fancy meeting you here again, Chen Lin. Before I could look cool, the big guy gasped like a fanboy. Whoa, you're the provincial champ. No wonder you're such a beast. We vibed for a bit, and the tension finally started to melt away. The tank's name was Luan. I laid out my insane suicide mission. I detailed the matriarch hit. Honestly, neither of them even blinked. Zero hesitation, we geared up and moved out toward the dead zone. Pushing toward the city core, we hit the massive bridge gateway. Boom! Thousands of red eyes sparked in the dark, a sea of monsters. They came hungry. Haiming unleashed a terrifying roar and charged headfirst. He plowed into the mob, detonating black flames like a localized nuke. My gut tightened. The disaster demon. It knows we're here. Lingshu's eyes turned ice blue. She looked like a cold, vengeful goddess. Lethal ice spears crystallized above her, ready to rain holy hell. One icy stare sent the shards screaming into the monster swarm. The backline got shredded. Monsters were pinned to the pavement like bugs. They fell like wheat to a scythe, yet the horde just grew. They moved fast. Every freak in the city was coming for us. Surrounded. The crushing pressure of the swarm began to feel heavy. Millions of monsters were closing in. This was getting way too crowded. Even fighting until our hearts stopped, we couldn't kill them all. I screamed over the chaos. Focus! Cut the head off the snake! Hey Ming, target the matriarch! He pivoted and roared in agreement. He blitzed the bridge. A terrifying, godlike aura radiated from the fog. The disaster matriarch. She was finally waiting for us. Just as Hei Ming hit the bridge, a crimson tentacle struck hard. A massive limb erupted, whipping him through the air like a rag doll. He smashed through skyscrapers like cardboard, leaving only ruins behind. Skidding to a halt 20 meters away, Hei Ming let out a roar. Dust exploded as he rose from the shattered concrete and rubble. His icy gaze locked onto the matriarch with soul-crushing intensity. A 60-meter eyeball stared back, its countless pupils pulsing with malice. Black flames ignited as he launched a ferocious, all-out assault. He charged with absolute force, a living comet of pure destruction. Buildings groaned and trembled as he charged past like a hurricane. The giant eye narrowed its pupils as 15 tentacles lashed out. Red whips swarmed from every direction, seeking a killing blow. Haiming danced through the chaos, weaving past the deadly strikes. Obsidian light surged through his claws as he struck them head-on. Steel rang against steel with every violent, bone-crushing collision. Suddenly, a massive tentacle sent him flying back across the ruins. All his progress vanished as the distance opened up once again. He had relied on brute size and defense to dominate combat. But against these tentacles, closing the gap seemed totally impossible. Hei Ming let out a defiant roar that shook the heavens. Pitch-black flames exploded, releasing a wave of soul-scorching heat. He moved with terrifying speed, his own life force fueling him. Dark energy devoured him from within at a devastating, lethal rate. It was his final, desperate gambit, a true all-or-nothing play. My heart sank as our soul link began to pulse dangerously. I felt his life force fading, flickering like a dying candle. Done, Su Lingshu barked, her eyes glowing with ice blue power. Sound vanished instantly. An eerie, absolute silence gripped the entire city. Every trace of moisture vanished as a sudden, lethal frost arrived. Countless beasts were entombed in ice, shattering into a million shards. Seizing the opening, I sprinted toward the heart of the disaster. He Ming needed to evolve now, or he wouldn't survive today. We reached the center as a thunderous roar shook the air. I found He Ming broken and battered, but he refused to fall. His claws remained buried in the earth, unyielding and firm. Despite the brutal lashing, he stood his ground and never retreated. With soul-shattering determination, he pressed forward inch by painful inch. I lunged forward, screaming, "He Ming, devour every last one!" I immediately unleashed my strongest recovery and enhancement arts on him. Holy white light bathed his body, making his pupils tremble. He let out a roar that blasted back the crimson tentacles. He dove headfirst into the sea of beasts like a shadow. Black flames bloomed like a lotus, incinerating the battlefield instantly. The Matriarch panicked and ordered its minions to retreat at once. Too late! The wave of black fire consumed everything in sight. Devouring energy flooded He Ming's core. I smashed that evolution button like a pro. Pure darkness erupted from his soul, exploding outward. A massive pillar of light pierced the heavens. Boom! My boy just broke 100 meters. Swiftness skill acquired. My wolf is getting fast. New talent unlocked. Indestructible body. Massive stat boost. All attributes plus 60. We are eating good. He Ming's eyes locked onto that ugly eyeball. Reborn and glowing golden, he looked totally divine. That giant eye started shaking in its boots. Our devouring aura had it paralyzed with fear. But it got mad, thinking it could evolve too. Dark red tentacles lashed out, breaking the sound barrier. Thundering strikes everywhere, but He Ming didn't flinch. 15 tentacles hammered down on my unmovable beast. His golden glow flickered, then the real power ignited. Black flames of gluttony and gigantification exploded forth. A 400-meter fire phantom rose behind him. A whole kilometer became a hellscape of black fire. He Ming charged, his claws ready to shred. Irises went dark as he tore into that eye. It screamed in agony, thrashing around like crazy. 0 damage taken. The eyeball roared, absorbing miasma. It swelled up, getting even bigger and nastier. Razor barbs sprouted everywhere from those creepy tentacles. They traded blows, making the very earth tremble. Roars split the sky for hours on end. Finally, only He Ming remained standing amidst ruins. The eyeball's lights went out, it was game over. Burned to nothingness, Su Ling Shu and I smiled. We just slayed a matriarch and thousands of beasts. Our final score was going to be legendary. Notification time! The three of us suddenly vanished. Mission over. Performance evaluation is now being processed. Total kills, 8,560. Insane. Matriarch down. Rating. Perfect, we're the best, baby. Promotion unlocked. Say hello to the Summoner Swordsman. New skill. Phantom Blade Convergence. This sounds broken. A ghostly blade that ignores all physical armor. It inflicts massive mental trauma with every hit. Wait, it bypasses physical defense entirely? No way. Direct hits to the mind, that is totally overpowered. Without mental shields, it is a one-hit kill. This skill is terrifying. My sword began to glow. Glowing runes burned into my hand. Mana? 0. That ghost blade is a total mana hog. Emergency use only. I checked my phone, smirking, added the squad. Then, a priority notification popped. Elite scouts arrive at 2 p.m. Get moving. No choice but to go. Let's do this. Lu Wen was literally camping at the school. About time, he shouted, sprinting toward me. 5 top-tier academies are scouting us today. Incredible. Unprecedented stuff. We hit the office immediately. He grabbed a dragon-shaped ring from his desk. Your city reward. High-tier gear and skill books. Perfect timing. My old equipment? Total trash now. That sword staff broke under my raw power. I checked the ring. 2 stats appeared instantly. 1. The Celestial Pivot. Elite grade destruction. In blade form, it cuts through anything. Literal. In staff form, continuous spiritual energy regeneration. A 50% boost? This is totally broken. 2. Point blank effect. Instant blink step skill. 100 meters instantly. I'm officially satisfied. 2 p.m. A sleek black sedan rolls up. 5 elite mentors. Even mayors would bow here. These 5th-rank monsters don't do formalities, honestly. They hit the lounge. Jifei looked bored. Where is this Chen Lin? She asked lazily. Door opened. We walked in. She scanned me. Not bad. Handsome enough for my Yuan Academy. Feng Yi scoffed. Recruiting based on looks? Pathetic. He turned to me. Join Qintian Academy instead. 3 premium resources are yours for signing today. An enrollment gift fit for a true champion. 3? That is for beggars. Jifei mocked. You are insulting his talent. Chen Lin, listen, don't let them treat you like a charity. The principals watched the chaos with blank faces. Tension spiked. One move and the room explodes. Every academy scout was ready for a fight. Total anarchy. Then, Jifei looked me dead on. You transcended, but you lack a proper summon. Come to Yuan, I will secure everything personally. Any material you need for summoning, consider it. Your wolf's growth? I will fund every bit. Whatever it takes. I will even offer my daughter. Silence. The other scouts were completely, utterly stunned. Think you've seen a total loser? Think again. 10 people scored 20,000 today. Blowing all those resources on one guy? The cheapskates weren't having it. They didn't want to fight for leftovers, so they dipped out early. The 4 of them bailed. I just sighed. Skip the drama, Grace. Leave your daughter out of this, I said. Grace smirked, looking satisfied. She leaned in. Oh, you want someone more mature? I am available too. My brain went completely blank. I tried to explain, but nothing came out. Talk about awkward. In the end, I officially picked Yunka Academy today. Not because Grace was a total 10, but because they had loot. Their offer was unbeatable. Soon, the big enrollment day finally arrived. Yunka was the Ivy League for monster tamers and certified teen geniuses. I grabbed a random dorm and moved in. This place was stacked, fully furnished and fancy. Suddenly, my specialized device buzzed like a chainsaw. A message popped up. Your summoning materials are ready and delivered right now. Anything else you need? I will move mountains to get it for you. Grace was working overtime for me. She finished the text and relaxed. But her advisor, Jiang Wu, was absolutely fuming in his soft chair. We could have bought 4 champions with that money. This guy is mid. Chen Lin isn't worth the investment. Grace just smiled at the hater. He is not even elite tier yet, she chuckled. Wait for the trial. The trials start tomorrow. Back in my room, I laid out materials. I reached out my hand, heart racing as I activated the circle. Blinding white light filled the room. This was the moment of truth. Seconds later, the light faded. A tiny silver butterfly drifted into view. It was 60 centimeters of shiny wings and glowing scarlet patterns now. Please do not be trash, I whispered, checking its stat panel immediately. My heart sank. Strength 1. Magic 1. Everything was just 1. Level 10? More like level 0. This thing was absolute garbage tier. Worse than my first summon. This was officially the weakest beast ever. I had shattered the record for the biggest summon fail in history, but I did not care. I will give you a legendary future. The butterfly landed on my finger. Loyalty, 100%. Zero betrayal. Initiate lifebound connection. I hit confirm, and then the world exploded. Pure, soul-tearing agony ripped through me. It felt like dying twice today. Then, the system screamed, Congratulations! Your beast has awakened a god-tier talent. Double S rank. 10,000 transformations. It can copy any form now. This little bug was a shapeshifter. Suddenly, the butterfly dissolved into light. It shifted and took on my exact appearance. Identical in every detail. Master, it spoke in a flat voice. I finally understand my power. This ability is absolutely insane. I grinned and opened my gearbox. Inside was my heavy battle armor. I looked at my new partner. I pointed at the steel plates, sending a mental command to it. It gave a tiny nod, dissolved into glowing particles, and flew forward. It wrapped around my arm like liquid metal. Silver armor began forming. It covered my body effortlessly. I felt absolutely no weight at all. This armor felt like a second skin, weightless, perfect, and totally badass. I was vibing. My 10,000 transformation skill was basically a legendary cheat code. I could fuse with metal to boost my hardness. Simple, effective, and totally broken. This talent was a bottomless pit of potential. Infinite growth? Yeah, sign me up. No time to waste. I decided to evolve the silver butterfly right then and there. I shot Jay a text demanding the rarest elemental metals she could find. Chop chop. 30 minutes later, ding, my special delivery of high-tier loot had officially arrived. Rare ores and precious minerals. Every single piece was a golden ticket to godhood. Back in my room, I let the silver butterfly feast on its new metallic buffet. Before long, the armor fused to my body became an impenetrable fortress of steel. Even a second-stage powerhouse would break their teeth trying to scratch this paint job. It weighed 5 tons now, yet I felt lighter than a summer breeze. But for my enemies, it would be like a literal mountain crushing their souls. I strolled into the common area, and my roommates looked absolutely shell-shocked. Then, some hotshot stepped forward with that I'm the main character energy. Yo, I'm Fang Yi, second place in the province. Nice to meet the celebrity. Taking first place with an ordinary class? Man, that is some seriously legendary stuff. Then Mr. Grumpy Pants chimed in with a sneer. Please, it was just dumb luck. You just got a lucky gotcha pull on that beast, hissed the silver medalist brat. This guy scored 23,000 in Long Province. Talk about a massive ego. You only won because your hometown is a wasteland with zero actual elite talent. Seriously, does your province even have anyone remarkable besides a lucky guy like you? Fang Yi just chuckled. Hey, summoning a beast that powerful takes some serious mojo. Chen Lin clearly has some hidden fire under the hood. Give him some credit. Before the drama could explode, a booming voice shook the entire academy to its core. Attention, cadets. Grab your gear and get your butts to Yungu Plaza immediately. Xiao Yang jumped off the couch, his face turning stone-cold serious in an instant. The freshman tournament got moved up. Things are getting nasty outside the city walls. Mutant beasts are swarming, and the academy wants us to play the exterminators. Training wheels are officially off. We are heading straight into a real-life war zone. I went quiet. My mind flashed back to the hellish depths of that dungeon world. I didn't expect Blue Star to hit the panic button this early in the game. Mr. Grumpy glared at me. Perfect timing, Chen Lin. I'm coming for your crown. I'll show everyone who the real champion is. Hope you're ready to lose. I just smirked at his arrogance. I wasn't just winning, I was going to dust them. Yungu Plaza was packed. The dean looked like he'd aged 10 years overnight. The top 100 will head outside. It is time to grow or die, he sighed. Real pressure creates diamonds. Let's see who survives this absolute meat grinder. His secretary stepped up, tablet in hand, ready to announce our impending doom. The tournament starts right now. No more practice, kids. This is the real deal. Destination, Rift Canyon, level 20 to 30. Prepare for the fight of your lives. Your performance here determines your entire future. So, don't screw it up. Then, the massive dungeon gate groaned open like the maw of a hungry beast. A tidal wave of pure, oppressive terror washed over the plaza, heavy and suffocating. The weak one's legs gave out instantly. The real game had finally begun. Her lips tremble as the abyss stares back. You're capping. No way, bruh. I'm 0 rank. We're toast. Then, the absolute unit Luan pulls up, flexing with some gray-eyed girl. He'd been yapping about Yun Academy for months, and honestly, I thought the guy was just trolling me. Turns out he's dead serious. Meet my little sister, Lu Ning, he says. She just hides behind him like a shy ghost. Hi, she whispers. I sigh, drop the squad invite, and gear up. But the local edgelord sees me carrying noobs and starts hating immediately. Major buzzkill. Before we dive in, he barks, try not to get clapped too hard. Whatever, poser. Next thing you know, the whole squad enters the rift. The instructors fire up the big screens to watch the carnage begin. Rift Canyon is a 100-mile death trap of pure labyrinthine chaos. We step in, and boom monsters are screaming for blood. Perfect timing. Time for a vibe check. One thought, and pure white light explodes. My silver butterfly manifests. My armor locks on total main character energy. I grip the celestial sword staff and unsheath my warblade from my back. I floor it, stamping the ground so hard the earth literally shatters. In one frame, I'm face to face with a beast 30 yards away. This skill was meant for escaping, but I'm using it to hunt. My staff begins its dance, carving through mobs like a hot knife, slicing through monsters like they're made of tofu. Absolute beautiful carnage. No mercy, no stops. I'm just a blur of death and after images. I shred the whole pack into pixels before they can even blink. They just stand there looking confused and very, very dead. Slay. Luan's losing his mind. Chenlin, you're a freaking monster. This is insane. They're just vibing while my XP bar goes absolutely brr easy levels. Outside, the instructors are shook. That speed? That damage? Totally illegal. He's hitting like a hidden class assassin. His base stats make 0 sense. Even at second rank, he shouldn't be this cracked. It's totally broken. Suddenly, a teacher speaks up, eyes wide with pure shock and awe. Is that butterfly his second summon? Is he dual-wielding souls right now? A summon that turns into a weapon? That's some legendary tier cheat code. Even the dean is sweating. He's never seen anything this wild before. Grace is just smirking. Look, 10 people are still outscoring your boy. Carry mode gives trash points. He's your future son-in-law, isn't he, Jay? Why you letting him look mid? Jay goes to clap back hard, but gets a shut-up smack to the dome instead. Pure comedy. Back in the pit, my armor is dripping red. Total monster massacre. Level 20 mobs? One-shotted. No diff. I've reached the peak already. I'm peaking at rank 2. But then the dark vibes hit my brain. Pure despair floods my mind, screaming at me to just end it. I freeze like a statue. Luan sees it and starts screaming, Ning! Turn off the domain, now! He knows her talent is scary as hell. Lu Ning panics and shuts the domain down instantly. I'm so sorry! I just grin. Relax, kid. Your dark thoughts? They had zero effect. Pathetic. I checked my tracker. Only 120 points, total garbage. This pace is a joke. If I'm taking the crown, I need first. Both the Silver Butterfly and Hei Ming are hungry for massive resources. I flexed my soul. Boom! White light exploded, and out stepped him. A beastly black wolf. One howl turned the entire canyon into jelly. Llewellyn saw Hei Ming and literally forgot how to breathe. Kid's terrified. She hid behind me like a shadow. I told the wolf, eat, devour everything here. Hei Ming's eyes went red, pure predator mode. He vanished into the depths. Suddenly, my wrist started screaming with alerts. Points are climbing like crazy. Now, let's go find more prey. Far away, some pro was showing off. A girl unleashed lightning dragons. Crimson thunder nuked the field. The ground didn't even stand a chance. Total annihilation. Red electricity fried everything within a 100-meter zone. Every single monster, poof, deleted, just like my search history. She looked bored. Is that it? These trash mobs are pathetic. Her sister just sighed. Llewellyn's used to these violent outbursts by now. Then, the air got heavy. A terrifying heat wave slammed into them. Before she could blink, Lu Hongjing's eyes caught a spark of madness. She lives for this drama. Her crimson lightning started dancing again. Snakes of electricity coiled her spear. Target locked, the giant wolf. The black flame wolf charged. Llewellyn felt the fear deep in her soul. One look at its eyes and she was shaking like a leaf. But Hongjing, she was wearing a grin that said, let's dance. She didn't hesitate. She lunged straight at the shadow-clad beast. Classic sis. Llewellyn moved fast, stacking every buff in the book. Shields up. Strength maxed. She's done this a million times before. With those buffs, their power just hit the freaking ceiling. Collision time. The shockwave alone probably leveled a few mountains. Dust settled. The wolf stood there, glowing gold and completely unbothered. Hongjing's face turned into a meme. Pure shock? No damage? That strike was 3rd Transcendence level. How is it still standing? It didn't have a single scratch. This wolf is built different. Hey, Ming looked down at the human like she was a gnat. One casual swipe of its claws. 3 legendary barriers? Gone instantly. Hongjing was sent flying like a rag doll. Absolutely brutal. Llewellyn panicked. Palms together. A massive holy figure started rising. The Holy Guardian Angel. Talk about bringing out the big guns. Double S-rank talent. Angel's blessing. A golden fortress of light. It wrapped around them. Sister, run! We can't win this! Too late. Hei Ming just strolled up and raised a paw. He shredded that S-rank barrier like it was wet tissue paper. The wolf gave them a you're nothing look and walked away. Outside the arena, you could hear a pin drop. Total silence. The dean and the instructors, their jaws were on the floor. Is this really the power of a summoner who just awakened? A class change just days ago? Insane. This power level is completely shattering the 2nd Transcendence scale. Witnessing this, monstrous combat prowess, one thought flashed through everyone's mind. Totally unrivaled in this tier. Seeing JF's smug grin, Zhang Hua was floored. A 0% success rate, yet he crushed it. Is he a legit genius? Over the next 10 hours, Hei Ming slaughtered 10,000 mobs and 3 3rd-tier bosses, only 1,300 points, until the next evolution. That was just half a day of grinding, though the level wall would only get steeper from here. Luan and Lu Ning were both beaming, finally tasting that sweet, effortless, power-leveling experience for once. I smirked and checked the tracker. 34,000 points. Not far off. Hei Ming finished its murderous lap and returned. Time for a quick heal. Soon, the dungeon timer hit 0. A blinding white light flared, warping everyone back to Young Plaza. A sea of shocked faces stared us down. Most cadets looked like they'd been through a blender, especially Mr. Edgelord over there. He slammed his fist into the dirt in total humiliation. A casual swipe from a black wolf had wrecked him. Suddenly, the Vice Dean's secretary barked out the point totals for all participants. First place overall, Chen Lin with 34,500 points. Mr. Edgelord's jaw hit the floor. He scrambled to check the holographic leaderboard. I was at the top with a massive lead. Second place was Funga with a measly 13,000 points. No freaking way, the cold-faced kid was in total denial. He was sure the system had glitched. He wasn't the only one confused. Everyone else was baffled too. How were the other provincial champions' scores so pathetic? Sensing the brewing riot, the secretary explained, that black giant wolf you all fought? Yeah, that was Chen Lin's summon. Instant silence. Every single face in the crowd froze in utter shock. Up on the stage, the secretary announced, the new student tournament is officially over. Scholarship rewards are coming soon. Dismissed. Back. At the dorm, I walked in to find Mr. Edgelord looking super awkward. He took a shaky breath and muttered, "Someone dropped off a delivery for you. A second shipment of high-end materials. Since you weren't here, I moved it to your room." I blinked, then gave him a smirk. "Got it, thanks." He looked away, grumbling a quiet, "Don't mention it." In my room, I cracked open the massive black crate. This stash of rare metals was huge. Once the silver butterfly eats enough of this stuff, its armor will be so thick, even He-Ming couldn't scratch it. Plus, it might develop some epic hidden stats. When that happens, my defense won't just be broken, my attack power will be godly. Time to get terrifying. I refuse to remain a helpless victim. A summoner who can't throw hands? That's just a death sentence. One targeted strike and I'd be history. Not on my watch. 10 minutes later, the silver butterfly finished its metallic fusion. Its shell was now impenetrable, even for a third Transcendence freak. 13 tons of pure weight. Our mutual strength was officially skyrocketing. A single punch? Boom. The ground would turn to absolute dust. Right then, my 50,000 school credit reward finally cleared. I didn't hesitate. I spent every cent on rare power fruits. Once they arrived, I let He-Ming feast on the whole haul. Warm surges of power flooded my veins. It felt absolutely intoxicating. He-Ming hit 40 meters in minutes. We were becoming literal titans. As a summoner swordsman, my strength stats were officially broken. No more hiding in the back. I'm the frontline powerhouse now. The next morning, our squad headed to our first assigned class. We bumped into Luan and Luan Ning along the way. The classroom was packed. The shock clearly hadn't worn off yet. I'd crushed everyone with one beast. Nobody could even look away. Suddenly, the stunningly beautiful twins Lu Hongying and Luan arrived. They marched over and sat right in front of me. Bold. Then Jafei entered. Tall, slender, and looking totally over the world. "I'm Jafei, your teacher. Don't annoy me with your little problems. You're all top talents, sure. But we are losing this war. The alien clans have been plotting for decades. They are winning. Soon, they'll launch an all-out assault through our final defenses." The room froze in disbelief. Society looked so orderly and fine. Entertainment was booming. The news claimed things were getting better. There wasn't a single negative word anywhere on the entire internet. Everything seemed stable, yet disaster was apparently lurking at our door. Reading our confusion, Jafei dropped a heavy, soul-chilling truth bomb. Ever wonder where the level 5 Transcendence heroes actually go? Even the strongest military legends cap out at level 4. Everyone thought back. It was true. The math didn't add up. Truly, elite peak fighters shouldn't be this impossible to find. Why were they missing from the news and everyday life? Not a single trace of them existed in the public eye. The silence in the room became heavy and suffocatingly real. Jafei's gaze pierced through us like a cold, sharpened blade. If the world is at peace, where are our gods hiding? A dark realization began to sink into everyone's hearts. Maybe the front line was a one-way trip for the elite. The orderly society outside was nothing but a colorful, fragile mask. A facade designed to hide the fact that we are outmatched. Logic dictated that someone that powerful should be a superstar. Then, a terrifying idea began to take shape in our minds. Think your senior year is tough? Try graduation. Top Academy legends start at minimum level 4 Transcendence. Most of these absolute units ditched normal life and headed straight to the front lines. It's their blood and sacrifice that buys the peaceful life we're busy wasting back home. Jay dropped a truth bomb next, the kind of news that turns a city into total chaos. Every nation on Earth has slapped a top-secret ban on this information. That's why regular civilians are clueless, living in a bubble while the world burns. Reality check. The mutant beast populations are exploding in scale right now. If we don't prune the herd, those alien freak clans will definitely launch a full invasion. They're looking to move up their doomsday calendar way ahead of schedule. Jay scanned us with a sharp gaze. Time to stand up and be counted, recruits. Every academy is shipping their best fighters to military bases to thin the mutant herd. Anyone brave enough to hunt some beasts in this operation, stand your ground now. The words barely left her mouth before the entire vibe of the room shifted. A thunderous symphony of chairs scraping against the floor echoed through the classroom. I stood up immediately. No hesitation, just pure, rebellious energy coursing through me. Lu Wan and Luo Ning saw my move and jumped up right beside me. Let's be real. Fighting mutant beasts was always on the syllabus eventually. The surprise quiz just came early. Jay actually let a tiny smirk slip through. Half the class volunteering? Honestly, that was way beyond what the teachers expected. All right, heroes, move out. We're heading straight to the military base. One heavyset guy stayed glued to his seat, eyes wide. Wait, we're all going? Exactly. You're the Academy's elite recruits. Every single one of you is going. The military kept this quiet just to see who'd actually volunteer first. Those who stood up are now priority targets for the Army's special attention. Jay's face went stone cold. If you're too chicken to fight, there's another way. Leave the academy, pack your bags and go home. 10 more people suddenly stood up. Jay led the pack out. It was time to leave our school days behind. Dozens of massive, blacked-out troop carriers were idling right outside the school gates. As we boarded those steel beasts, the once loud academy became a ghost town. Inside the carrier, Jay cracked a file. Destination: Hongan Military Base. We're headed 900 kilometers outside the city, deep into the danger zone. Beyond the base lies the Ball Mountains, tens of thousands of square kilometers of hell. Aerial scans show the outer perimeters are already crawling with mutant monsters. Expect tens of thousands of beasts ranging from level 10 to level 30. Go any deeper, and you'll run into level 50 nightmares that eat recruits for breakfast. Your only job is to sweep the perimeter and keep the numbers down. The front lines have been surviving on high-tech walls and prayers until now. They're barely repelling each wave, playing a losing game of whack-a-mole. For some reason, these mutant freaks have become way more aggressive lately. The regular army is completely tapped out. They literally don't have the manpower left. 9 hours of bumpy, high-speed travel later, the massive engines finally cut out. The heavy blast doors hissed open, revealing rows of soldiers in black tactical gear. They stood in perfect formation, like they'd been waiting for fresh meat all day. Every soldier snapped a sharp salute in unison. The gravity of it finally hit us. Something heavy stirred in my chest. The training wheels were officially gone. Jay's cold mask shattered. "Listen up! Registration is this way. Move it!" Necks craned as they walked. This military fortress was absolutely massive. Fortified artillery stood like metal giants behind walls of dense, layered steel. It wasn't long before the crew reached the mission registration hub. Female soldiers began handing out sleek, black, smart wristbands to every cadet. These looked like exam recorders, but with upgraded mission data and maps. They featured a distress icon. One tap would alert the entire base. Once triggered, a high-speed rescue squad would be deployed immediately. Simultaneously, every nearby ally would receive your signal for backup. They'd arrive in a heartbeat. "Welcome to the grind. It is our pleasure. Every cadet must claim and finish at least one mission daily. Your daily quota is currently empty. Get to work, rookies. Head to the terminal and pick a fight before time runs out." I stepped toward the glowing screen, scanning a sea of dangerous tasks. Survival first. I'll just grab a few basic third Transcendence missions. Suddenly, I felt eyes burning into my back. I spun around instantly. Luan was shadowing me, while Luan Ning watched with heavy eyes. They stared at me like kicked puppies begging for a hero. With their weak stats, entering the wilderness alone was a death sentence. I smirked. "Fine, tag along. I promised I'd carry you through this." They both nodded frantically, their eyes practically brimming with pure relief. Seeing this, Feng Ya, who wanted to recruit Luan Ning, froze. He stopped cold. A wave of petty jealousy made his teeth ache. The twins were fine, but why was Luan Ning choosing him too? The wilderness is a nightmare. Anything can kill you in a second. Jiang Feng. "Let's squad up and cover each other's blind spots." Li Jiangfeng shot him a look of total disgust. "Beat it. Loser." Li Jiangfeng rolled his eyes, grabbed a mission, and left with girls. They were classmates. Feng turned desperately toward Ouyang Xiang for help. Ouyang Xiang snapped. "You're a hidden combat class. For heaven's sake, quit being a coward. Find some reliable teammates on your own level. If things get messy, hit the signal. We might find your remains. We'll scrap your leftovers." Soon, I had locked in 3 missions. Hunt the berserk black ape 200 kilometers out and the twin fang tiger, plus the blood spirit crocodile. I had every beast's location pinned down. Array mages had retrofitted miniature drones with magical observation eyes. These mutant monsters were usually obsessed with guarding their own territory. They rarely wandered. This massive cleanup operation was perfectly planned. Every military base was fully prepared for this total monster purge. It was designed so cadets could hunt mutants with maximum efficiency. For safety, every soldier on mission could draw 3 high-explosive grenades. They also received a sidearm loaded with 7 armor-piercing rounds. That firepower could actually wound a level 20 mutant beast. My aim was total trash, so I just grabbed the high-explosive grenades. I pocketed the explosives and marched straight toward the danger zone. Forget everything else. My fist packs more punch than a tank shredding round now. We rolled out! Next stop? The death trap known as the Bailey Mountain Range. I summoned the silver butterfly, and boom, my legendary armor locked into place. My wristband chimed in. "Hey, want me to turn on the lights for you?" Obviously. A blinding white beam instantly cut through the pitch-black shadows around us. 10 meters of light revealed the danger. Back at base? Every officer looked totally spooked. A drone spotted us, and the generals realized we were way off course. We were wandering straight into the jaws of level 30-plus mutant nightmares. "Why aren't they stopping?" The general growled, his voice heavy with pure dread. He barked an order. Check their mission logs. Now, what are they doing? The tech officer's fingers flew across the keyboard as she pulled up the data. She gasped. Target 1. A level 33 berserk black ape? Are you kidding? Target 2. A level 36 giant tiger. Target 3. A level 39 blood spirit crocodile. These are high-tier Transcendence missions. That croc is basically suicide for anyone under level 40. Have they lost their freaking minds? Yang Sha groaned, rubbing his aching temples. This kid is the Academy's top rookie, but he's barely level 16. Where does he get the nerve to hunt monsters 2 tiers above his rank? He's suicidal. But legends are born from the crazy ones who never back down. He's too valuable to lose. We can't just sit back and watch him get eaten. Launch the gunships, he roared. Get 4 armed choppers to their location immediately. Save them the second things go south. Yang Sha sighed, praying they weren't already dead. If they lost this genius, the Hangden base was doomed to fall behind everyone. Back in the wild, my wristband pinged, "Warning! You've entered the danger zone. Berserk ape territory detected." The alert barely finished when the ground started shaking. Suddenly, a massive serpent exploded from the bushes, its thick body uncoiling like a whip. Dozens of meters of muscle lunged forward, razor-sharp fangs aiming straight for my throat. That gaping maw was big enough to gulp me down in one bite. I didn't flinch. I caught those fangs with my bare hands and wrenched back with pure force. Crack! Its fangs shattered like glass. Blood sprayed everywhere as the beast shrieked in agony. No mercy! I kicked off, the ground cratering under my boots as I launched forward. I flickered in front of its face and delivered a punch that felt like a comet. Its spine disintegrated. The serpent let out a bone-chilling screech that echoed through the forest. Those cold, reptilian eyes filled with pure terror as it tried to slither away. Not so fast! I grabbed its tail, dragging the massive beast back like a rag doll. It thrashed wildly, its desperate struggle making the entire forest floor quake in fear. Resistance was futile. My fist slammed into its skull like a sledgehammer from hell. Boom! Its head literally exploded into a shower of gore as the skull caved in. With its skull in pieces, I grabbed its lower jaw with both hands. Brutality incoming. I ripped the beast in half with raw strength. The savage display left my team trembling. Luan and Luaning were paralyzed with fear. Back at HQ, you could hear a pin drop. A suffocating silence choked the room as the monitors displayed the absolute carnage. The generals watched the replay, their mouths hanging open. This kid was a monster. Every single face in the command room was frozen in a mask of shock. Jaws hit the floor. The raw power they just witnessed was simply impossible. Total madness, they gasped. That level 16 kid is a walking natural disaster? Level 16 against a level 29 giant? This kid is actually insane. He's fighting a constrictor with 0 armor. Yang Xiao whispered, "He's a freaking monster." He stared at the files again, his brain totally short-circuiting. It says summoner, but that's a lie. Then a roar shattered the speakers. The room shook, and every face went pale with pure terror. A 50-meter-tall ape, looking like a mountain of muscle, crashed down. It dropped from the peaks, woken up by the absolute chaos below. It's charging us like a freight train. The officer's face turned ghostly white. We're dead. That's the berserk black ape. Since when is it level 34? Every 10 levels, these mutants evolve into something way more nightmare-fueled. It could turn that giant snake into literal paste with one punch. Yang Xiao shook his head, thinking the exact same terrifying thing. No human should be able to survive a power gap this huge. His hand hovered over the radio. If things got ugly, he was ready to call in every single armed helicopter immediately. I didn't even have a second to grab my loot. A massive, bloodthirsty shadow blotted out the sun above me. The ape slammed its colossal fist down like a falling building. I didn't flinch. I just drew my blade and swung. My steel bit right into its knuckles, hard as solid rock. A shockwave leveled the ground, but I didn't feel a thing. My silver butterfly shield soaked it all. The beast roared again. It doubled in size, hitting 70 meters tall in a heartbeat. It tried to swat me like some annoying little fly, but I vanished and reappeared right over its ugly head. Point blank activated. My emergency escape is now my best offensive move. A silver flash slashed deep into the back of its skull, half a meter deep. The ape screamed and spun around in rage. It unleashed a wild flurry of punches, but I danced right through. I stayed close, stabbing the same wound over and over again. The beast lost it and stomped the ground with all its weight. The earth shattered like glass in one terrifying explosive moment. Dust and rock exploded everywhere, blinding the entire battlefield. But I was already gone, standing 10 meters away, unscathed. Guess 13 tons of pressure isn't enough to kill this big guy. That's my limit. Time to stop playing around and end this. Suddenly, a blade made of pure ghosts and steel appeared. It was covered in glowing white runes I couldn't even read. My spiritual energy hit zero, and my head felt like lead. First time's a charm. Let's see what this thing can actually do. Every hair on the ape's body stood up in total fear. It felt death itself staring it right in the face. The beast lunged forward, desperate to kill me before I moved. It tried to end it all before its time ran out. Too late. My hand had already fallen. One flash of the phantom blade and poof, the ape's toast. Without a warning, that mountain of muscle hit the dirt hard. Total system shock. Boom! Impact. Dust clouds danced as the battlefield fell eerily silent. Bodies warm, but the lights are out upstairs. Mind? Completely shattered. Game over. I sheathed my blade. Luckily, that beast's terrifying. Aura kept the other monsters at bay, too scared to even breathe. Quick work. High above, those military chopper pilots were sweating bullets. They did a U-turn fast, retreating into the clouds like cowards. Back at base? Total silence. Every officer's jaw hit the floor. They stared at the screen, brains lagging. Yong Xiao sat frozen. Processing. Eureka. A mental trauma skill? Those are ultra rare. But wait, there's more. The level gap was absolutely insane. An 18-level gap? He soloed the berserk ape like it was nothing. This wasn't just some lucky ultimate move or a one-hit wonder. No, this kid's baseline is just godly. Now that's terrifying. Normally, geniuses rely on bursts to punch up. Not this guy. He's not bursting. He's just naturally that broken. A true monster. Sure, power gaps happen, but the how matters. This is different. If this is his cruising speed, we're looking at a legend. Bridging two full transcendences? On the front lines? He's a god. The alien clans are going to have nightmares. Yong Xiao's heart raced. Adrenaline kicked in. He wasn't just scared. He was hyped. He bolted out, sneaking into a tiny, dusty back room. Secret mission time. Door locked. Privacy shields up. Jamming signals engaged. Level 10 secrecy. Arrays humming. He grabbed the burner phone. Brother Jiang, listen up. We found a literal cheat code human at Hangduan base. He's insane. I'm busted up and can't cover him alone. This kid's too hot. 30 minutes of radio silence. Then, a crackle. The reply finally came. How strong exactly? Yong Xiao took a breath, measuring his words. Strong enough to fold us both like laundry and dump us in the dirt. The line went quiet. Damn. That's a national security threat level. The world can't hide him. The alien assassins are coming for sure. Better clear the deck. Yong Xiao sighed, feeling completely useless. He'd delete me with one hand. Against you? It's a coin toss. Copy that. The voice turned icy serious. Moving now. No time to waste. Calling a meeting with the throne-ranked elites immediately. Hold tight. Meanwhile, Luan was geeked out, poking the giant ape's massive corpse. Level 34? Solo? Bro, you're literally built different. Lin's a legend, I just smirked. Flexing is too much work. Summon time! I called out 40 meter. Hey, eat up, big guy. He gobbled the corpses. Plus 2 evolution points? Still a grind ahead. 1,200 to go. Time to drop the real loot. I tossed the shiny life crystals into Hay's dark, hungry flames. Every single drop. 1 crystal equals 1 point. Let's do some math. Jackpot. The XP bar is finally moving. Level up. Here we come. Step it up. I dragged those two deep into the mountain death trap. 30 minutes in, a 30-meter tiger with serrated fangs jumped us. Total nightmare fuel. But before Kitty could strike, Heiming's predator eyes locked on. Instant chill. Under that soul-crushing intimidation, the massive beast froze like a statue. Boom! The ground shattered as Heiming teleported right into the tiger's face. Claws out! One legendary swipe sent that overgrown cat flying through the air. The impact was insane. It plowed through a forest of trees before finally stopping. 4 nasty gashes shredded its face, blood spraying everywhere. It was a total mess. It tried to bolt, but against Heiming, you can't outrun death itself. Within seconds, those cursed black flames devoured the tiger whole. Bon appétit! The sheer violence had the command center nerds shaking in their boots. Watching through the screen felt like a cold blade to the neck. Pure terror. Yang Xiao just smirked. That's my boy. Total fanboy moment right there. We kept pushing forward, threading our way through the heart of the wild. An hour later, we hit the level 30 danger zone. Monster territory only. But with Heiming's don't mess with me aura, nothing dared to breathe near us. Then, a colossal croc covered in blood-red scales blocked our path. 100 meters of pure scale and rage suddenly snapped its eyes open. It unleashed a roar that screamed, "Get off my lawn!" A total territorial flex. Heiming just bared his teeth, a savage dark aura exploding like a nuke. He bulked up instantly, hitting 300 meters of pure, terrifying muscle. Feeling the disrespect, the crocodile charged forward in a blind, scaly fury. Earthquaking, Hyming ignited. Black flames everywhere. Now the real party starts. Claws extended as a lethal dark light rippled across his fur. A golden halo rose, radiating the power of an absolute immovable king. The croc opened a maw full of razor-sharp daggers. One bite means game over. Chomp! But it couldn't even dent that golden light. Absolute fail. Lizard breath. Hyming's look was ice cold. He raised a claw and dropped the hammer. Scales flew everywhere. One strike turned that croc's face into raw, shredded meat. The beast let out a pathetic roar and whipped a tail like a mountain. The tail glowed crimson, churning with enough raw power to level a city. It whipped around, bringing a savage hurricane of death straight toward Hyming. 4 massive furrows were literally carved into the earth from the force. Hyming dug in, using every ounce of strength to hold his ground. The croc didn't quit, sensing a tiny opening to press the advantage. It lunged with explosive power, locking its massive limbs around Hyming's body. It dragged him down, and both titans plunged into the lake behind them. Geysers of water shot toward the clouds as they crashed into the depths. 2 monsters brawled underwater, turning the entire lake into a murky death blender. But those black flames? They didn't care about water, still burning bright. The lake started boiling. The water temperature was climbing off the charts. The sensors were screaming this heat was beyond anything the nerds had recorded. Massive clouds of steam rose as the underwater deathmatch raged on. Every collision sent tsunamis crashing into the shore like a natural disaster. Even with the environment collapsing, this legendary showdown was just getting started. Even with its level gap, that crocodile got absolutely clapped. It popped its power buff and still dealt 0 damage. Pathetic. Within minutes, the massive lake's water level dropped by a quarter. Boom, the surface shattered as a giant black wolf erupted. 300 meters of pure destruction, an absolute unit of terror. Its killer aura was enough to make anyone's knees buckle. Hey, Ming would never hurt his friends, but the girls, they couldn't stop the primal terror screaming from their souls. Same for the command center nerds watching through their screens. As for the gator, deleted. Not even a scrap remained. Suddenly, the wristband beeped. All missions are officially cleared. Head back to the military base to claim your rewards. We finally rolled into the Hanged One base at 1 a.m. I walked to the desk and tossed the loot to a soldier. She gasped. Wait, you cleared all of these? Impossible. I just nodded and played the footage on my wristband. It took her a hot minute to reboot her brain. 200 points total. How are we splitting the loot? I shared the points with the girls just like she said. I looked at the Lu sisters. This team-up wasn't working. With me carrying, they weren't leveling up or getting better. Time to find them teammates who aren't. Well, me. Right after I left, the big screen started glowing blue. Yonki Academy, freshman, level 16 summoner. The board shifted. 100 points, rank, 1,245. It wasn't just here. Every base saw the same name. The news flashed across every military terminal in the region. Every cadet at the registration desk stopped dead in their tracks. Who is this guy? 100 points in one go? He must have cleared 3 high-tier missions in a single run. I'm a freshman too, and my score is still single digits. Same. I'm still scared of the low-level starter missions. These monsters are cracked. I'm getting bullied even with levels. Even the upperclassmen barely had a few dozen points total. Yet this level 16 rookie just slaughtered 2 level 30 beasts. Over at the Losiang base, Professor Fang Yi was busy. He was planning an attack on a level 60 colossal beast. Then he saw the leaderboard and completely lost his cool. No way, he shouted, making all the instructors look up. Professor Fang, do you actually know this crazy kid? 100 points on day 1? That's completely off the charts. Fang Yi sighed. That's the recruit I really regret losing. Jay offered him too much cash. I couldn't outbid him. Otherwise, he'd be our star student at Bong right now. Truly. The biggest one that got away in my career. Back at the academy, instructors nodded, then one scoffed in pure disbelief. He's definitely just some scrub getting carried by an overpowered senior. Disgraceful. Real warriors don't play the carry me game like that. This operation isn't just about monster pest control, you know? It's meant to forge cadets in fire. Times are getting desperate. Building your own raw strength should always be the top priority. Chasing ranks by leeching off others is pathetic. Professor Fang sighed. He once expected greatness from me. Now, he felt purely let down. Then, he turned to a young man in black with a grin. Yunshu, mission complete? Xiao Yunshu stepped forward with a flex. Yeah, I wiped out 2 level 27 mutants for you, Professor. I would have been back sooner, but a little pest delayed me. A level 33 armored lizard. It took a bit of effort. He spoke casually, as if slaying monsters was just another Tuesday. Fang was stunned. Slaying a level 33 at only level 17? Incredible. This year's prodigies are truly built different, one by one. Yunshu smirked, his eyes burning with absolute, cocky main character energy. Professor, this era belongs to the elites, that much is certain. And with me here, I'll crush every rival in my path. I'll reach the pinnacle! He stole a sideways glance at the screen, and noticed the instructors were frozen in a deafening, awkward silence. His eyes locked onto the leaderboard. His expression turned to stone. 1,000 voices in his head screamed, "Impossible! This is a glitch! How is anyone outranking me? 100 contribution points? No way. Even with my lizard kill, I'm not even close to that." Seeing the prodigy's soul leaving his body, Professor Fang spoke up. "Ignore it. A score like that is obviously just a carry job. Don't sweat the fakes." Yunshu exhaled, but the sting remained. The hype from his successful mission had turned into bitter ash. After a curt goodbye, he set his jaw and marched away. He vanished into the dark mountains to reclaim his lost pride. Meanwhile, I was busy grabbing legendary BBQ with my roommates. Chill. I left the girls with their team. Next morning, 9 sharp, I signed up for 2 suicide tier 4th Transcendence difficulty missions. The moment I stepped out, the female officer panicked immediately. She grabbed her radio and shouted for Yang Sha at once. "He's taking on level 40 missions." Yang Sha's heart skipped a beat. 4th Transcendence meant fighting mutant beasts at level 40 or higher. Monsters so tanky that even a missile-laden attack helicopter couldn't even leave a scratch on their thick, armored hides. "Alert the elite instructors. We need a shadow on him now. I'm worried Chen Lin is toast." The officer moved like lightning. Soon, the emergency ping blared on the instructor's smart wristbands. At the Hongguan base, the 3 pros shared a grim look. "Jiangwu, you're up. Go make sure that kid stays alive." One click on that SOS button, and the cavalry would come charging in. Meanwhile, deep in this leafy green hell, my shadow wolf was straight hunting. My beast Hei Ming was blurring through the vines at record-breaking speeds. Target locked! We finally rolled up on the mission zone 60 minutes later. A level 44 3-headed snake was hissing threats. Time to shut it up. I reached out, summoning my meter-long mystery blade. Pure, sharp edge, baby. With one casual flick of my wrist, that snake's pupils went tiny. It smelled death coming. Bam! A split second later, the real chaos began. The left head screamed bloody murder before going totally limp. "Goodbye, buddy." It slumped against the rocks while the other heads panicked like total idiots. No response? Total panic mode. It was finally time for the real show. I told Hei Ming to finish the job. My boy let out a roar. He bulked up instantly, reaching nearly 300 meters of pure muscle. Dark flames licked his skin. This snake was about to get grilled. Feeling that crazy aura, the serpent opened wide to spit some nasty venom. A purple toxic stream flew out, but Hei Ming didn't give a flip. He charged through the poison and bit down hard on its middle neck. The last head watched its twin get mauled and went absolutely ballistic. It roared, sinking its fangs deep into my wolf's flank. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Poison flooded his veins, but my boy's stats are way too cracked. His insane constitution tanked the toxin while a dark glow empowered his claws. He slammed that biting head away with everything he had. Then, my turn. Blade out, I vanished into thin air. Ninja style, you know how it is. I popped up right in front of that scaly face. "Sword, meat eye!" The snake shrieked in total agony as I blinded it. Screech, louder, coward. Hei Ming's flaming claws swung down like a meteor of pure shadow energy. He slammed it into the dirt, but that massive tail was still active. That 30-meter-thick tail whipped up like a building falling. I blocked it. The force sent me flying into the dirt like a human missile. Brutal. Hei Ming saw me go down and went full beast mode. Dark light. The air exploded as its tough skin started tearing like cheap wet paper. Deep, nasty gashes ripped open. That thing was looking like Swiss cheese. Hei Ming spun around and latched his teeth onto that last neck. He was shaking it like a chew toy, trying to rip it off. It was a clash of titans. 200-meter giants were wrecking the place. Trees snapped and the ground literally exploded from their wild thrashing match. I just stood up from the wreckage, totally scratch-free. I'm just built different. My silver butterfly shield is the real MVP here. Totally reliable defense. I watched the big guys tear each other apart, brutality at its finest. I chilled on a rock while Hei Ming finished the cleanup. Easy day. Suddenly, a tall lady in white armor snuck up on me. Rude much? I grabbed my blade and swung. White light flashed across the forest floor. Wait, instructor? Yo, what are you even doing in this dangerous zone? Jiang Wei stood there, trying to hide her shaky hands. She looked annoyed. Her face was stone cold as she prepared to drop some wisdom. Yo, I was just passing by, but this noise? Too juicy to ignore. Suddenly, a 30-meter snakehead plummeted like a falling skyscraper from hell. Boom! The ground shattered as a massive dust cloud swallowed the world. A primal howl tore through the air, echoing for miles around. There he was, Hyming, standing like a boss on that dead snake's face. Black flames devoured the carcass, turning monster meat into sweet energy. Jiang Wei was shaking. That savage aura? It was straight up nightmare fuel. Meanwhile, the command center went into full panic mode. Screens were exploding. A 28-level gap? 3 Transcendence tiers? This kid is breaking the game. How is his combat power this broken? He's a walking cheat code. He's outclassing SS ranks. Black fire swirled before merging into Hyming's soul. The dark flame sank in, and he shrank back into cute mode. He hopped over and flopped down for a nap. What a legend. Jiang Wei said her piece and dipped. Girl knows when to leave. Map checked. Route set. I mounted Hyming and we pushed forward. Eating that serpent gave him a massive buff. He grew a whole meter. Evolution points +10. We are hitting the next stage, baby. Just 4 or 5 days? This beast is evolving at light speed. Next stop, high rank status. His talent is about to go absolutely nuclear. His power will be terrifying. Suddenly, the jungle erupted with a roar. Something big was coming. A massive shadow tore through the trees. A wild bull charged in. This thing was an absolute unit. Armored in yellow scales, it looked like a literal tank on hooves. 30-meter horns? Every step it took turned the ground into gravel. Target locked. Level 45, Raging Horned Bull. Time to hunt. No hesitation. I popped my enhancement arts. Buffs are live, let's go! Hyming roared as his body swelled. Black flames detonated like a nuke. Golden light flared. Full combat power was unleashed in a heartbeat. The bull's razor horns drove in, aiming to turn us into kebabs. Hyming caught it bare-pawed, the ultimate clash of raw, primal strength. The impact was insane. Hyming skidded back, carving a canyon in the dirt. The drones were struggling to keep up with the pure chaos. In the command center, Yangsha was screaming, "Everyone, clear the area. Evacuate the cadets." Chenlin's beast doesn't care about collateral damage. The officer scrambled to obey. Hyming flexed, dark energy coating his claws. He surged with everything. With one heave, he flipped that massive bull. The beast slammed down. Dust clouds bloomed like a battlefield explosion. A group of cadets came running out, looking like they saw ghosts. So that's why they said run. We almost became bull pancakes. Wait, check the levels. That monster is level 45, but him? Level 16? You're telling me a level 16 is doing all this? They stood there in total disbelief. The math just wasn't mathing. A female instructor nearby felt the heat and started moving in. She couldn't ignore a rumble like this. The hype is getting real. Something legendary was happening, and the whole world was watching. Step aside. Jiang Wu suddenly appeared, completely blocking her path. Just drop it. That beast belongs to a young freshman. The instructor froze solid, her brain totally short-circuiting in shock. A freshman? Stop capping. Jiang Wu Yu's lips curled up. She shrugged. This year's rookie batch is just built different. The instructor's jaw dropped. Different? That kid is a freak. 4th Transcendence as a rookie? Young Academy is straight up cheating. Is he yours? Jiang Wu Yu's face went stone cold. She cleared her throat. Jay and I are basically family. Growing up together makes him mine. Totally logical, right? The instructor looked green with envy. Talk about a flex. 30 minutes later, Hei Ming finished its bowl-sized snack. It scanned the area, saw I was gone, and bolted. It found me getting absolutely pummeled by a giant toad. My summon went full rage mode, charging in a blink. One savage swipe and that level 36 mutant was deleted. I finally breathed. Recovery arts on, let's go even harder. We rested, then pushed for level 40+ mutant targets. Both targets eliminated. I wasn't ready to go back yet. Returning now is a waste. Who cares about contribution points? Evolution is the goal. I need level 20 and Transcendence. Since I saw the truth about humanity, I've been rushing. Deep into the night, Hei Ming stood wreathed in shadows. 2 level 42 carcasses lay rotting at its massive feet. Black flames devoured them, funneling pure energy into my beast. I collapsed on the dirt, gasping. My mana was empty. I couldn't even heal. My mind was a hollow shell. My whole body was numb. Shielding a beast is a scam. I nearly died protecting Hei Ming. But look at us. 15 elite kills today. Hei Ming is a total unit. 58 meters tall now. All stats are absolutely cracked out. If I see that bull again, I'd end it fast. These level 42 mutants aren't even a challenge anymore. Evolution progress gained 195 points today. Just 1,020 more points to hit max. Back at base, the whole crowd let out a breath. The officer was shaking. This is actually beyond insane, she gasped. 15 level 40 kills in just one day? No way. That's over 2,000 points. Everyone's jaw hit the floor. Respect was everywhere. Our top cadet can't even do this. The officer swallowed hard, her voice trembling in total disbelief. That's impossible. 15 high-level beasts in a single day? If we convert that to points, it's over 2,000. Everyone turned, their eyes filled with nothing but pure respect. Even our top-ranked cadet isn't playing on this level. 700? No way. Jikong, that legendary senior champion, is actually back. Status update on the other bases? Yangsha barked, eyes narrowing at the monitors. The officer's fingers blurred across the controls as fresh intel flooded the screen. Data surged in from Luo Shan base, where the elite Byung Academy reigns supreme. Their top score hit 1,000. Cloud Sky follows at 890. Qing Academy trails in third place with a solid 850 points. This massive purge involves 100 academies across a dozen high-stakes zones. They're hitting the beast-infested mountains first to break the main monster swarm. The plan is a systematic sweep to wipe out every mutant in sight. This war for survival will drag on for months. It's a brutal marathon. We fight until these beasts are too broken to ever threaten our cities. How are we this far behind? The leaderboard gap was straight up insulting. Our clearing progress is a joke compared to the lead Luo Shan has. Yong Xiao scowled. The difference in speed was becoming a massive problem. Byung Academy owns the rankings, the officer noted. They never lose their crown. Naturally, every freakishly talented kid wants to enroll in that elite powerhouse. Their roster this year is stacked. It's a literal den of young monsters. Can you imagine the pressure? It's a dog-eat-dog world inside those academy walls. Every student is going all out, terrified of being left in the dust. Honestly, it's a win for us. Faster clears mean they can bail us out. While they're winning, the other 13 bases are basically drowning in mutants. Most sectors are failing. Level 20 monsters are still running the show. The beast population hasn't even dropped. It's a total disaster zone out there. Yang Sha nodded. Then we hustle. We've got lives to save, people. 2:30 in the morning, I finally limped back to the base registration point. The lights were blinding. Exhausted cadets were busy barbecuing monster meat over fires. I turned in my mission tokens and watched my rank go nuclear. From 1,200, straight into the top 10. Pure chaos. I didn't care about the fame. I just needed a damn bed. But the second I hit the dorm, Fa was all over me. He looked at me like I was some glitch in the Matrix. Spill it, Chen Lin. Are you an alien wearing a human suit? That power gap is illegal. I just grinned and took a seat. Meanwhile, the academy forums were absolutely melting down over my new rank. Fa leaned in, wide-eyed. Everyone thinks a senior carried your sorry butt today. They're tearing you apart online, calling you a total fraud and a cheater. 100 points? Fine. Maybe people would have believed that lucky break. But the top 10? Everyone's screaming fake and demanding a total investigation. And guess who the main suspect is? The legendary Gikong himself. The internet mob is convinced he rigged the system just for you. I blinked, confused. Why him? I barely even know the guy. Suddenly, my wristband buzzed. A friend request from the man himself. It was Gikong, the guy everyone thinks is my secret carry. I tapped, accept. Immediately, a single message popped up on the screen. Hey, you interested in hunting a level 52 fire-breathing giant dragon? Tomorrow. I texted back. Keep the points. I only care about the life crystals. Deal done. Meeting set. I wasn't here for fame, just the legendary loot. Morning came. I hit the gate where the squad was already geared up. A girl named Yakexi looked me over, a curious spark in her eyes. I'm Yakexi, she said. Beside her stood Wang Yao. I just nodded cold. We piled into the armored beast and drove deep into the monster-filled mountains. Jikong briefed us. Listen, this giant rock drake carries king-level blood. Its skills are unknown. We stay sharp or we die. Zero room for error. Wang Yao and I take the front. We tank. You guys stay back. Yakexi provides buffs. Hey, Junior Chenlin, can your beast actually fight? I stayed cool. Taking this lizard head-on? Not a problem. Watch the show. Their eyes lit up. They thought they'd finally caught a break with me. Honestly, if I was just some average level 40 scrub, we'd be cooked. Seeing my too cool vibe, the team actually started to relax for once. 200 kilometers later, we arrived. The air smelled like old, dead stone. Jikong stopped. Drake territory. I'll bait it. You guys hold the line. I just smirked. Nah, no need for the bait. I'll handle the entrance. I let my power surge. Boom! A 58-meter black wolf descended like nightmare. Its savage aura exploded, making the air tremble with pure, unadulterated violence. A thunderous howl ripped through the sky, sending lesser monsters running for cover. The squad stood frozen, jaws hitting the floor. This wasn't a normal summon. Deep in a cave, two massive yellow eyes snapped open like glowing lanterns. A terrifying aura erupted. With a heaven-shaking roar, the Mountain King finally emerged. Every step made the earth shudder. The ground groaned under its massive weight. It was a 500-meter absolute unit, armored in scales of solid mountain stone. The trio turned pale. They'd massively underestimated this beast. It was a nightmare. I didn't blink. I sent a mental spark to my wolf. Go big. Hei Ming expanded instantly, hitting 500 meters of pure shadow and muscle. Black flames detonated as golden light surged. His aura became truly god-tier, terrifying. My teammates were shaking. Ahead, the rock drake stared down with reptilian disdain. It sensed Hei Ming's level was lower. Arrogance dripped from its glowing eyes. But those black flames? They gave the beast a creeping sense of danger. Hei Ming let out a mocking growl, taunting the drake like a rebel. The drake lost it. Fury exploded as its massive front limbs slammed earth. The ground shattered. Giant stone pillars shot up like missiles toward Hei Ming. Hei Ming didn't flinch. He used his indestructible body to tank the strike. Dark light blazed on his claws, shredding those pillars like they were paper. The drake charged, a roaring mountain of stone. Its 100-meter palm slammed down. Air compressed under the force. Hei Ming sidestepped, avoiding the direct, lethal blow. He countered with a vicious claw swipe, but it only sparked against armor. This lizard was tough. The rock drake roared, spinning its massive, stone-heavy body. Another 100-meter palm slammed down with the force of a falling mountain. Hei Ming ducked, his eyes burning with the thrill of a legendary fight. The ground beneath them turned to dust as the two titans clashed again. The drake's next strike was faster, driving a heavy palm into Hei Ming. Yo, watch this. Talent power ignited like a freaking supernova. Suddenly, gravity got lethal. A bone-crushing blow descended fast. Like a collapsing peak, the impact literally cracked the air. Hei Ming's golden shield held for a second before getting pulverized. The wolf skidded back 50 meters, barely stopping the momentum. Chaos erupted! Ji Kong yelled, Ye Kexi, drop those buffs! Focus everything on Chen Lin's beast. He was moving fast. That rock drake was a unit. Way scarier than imagined. Level 50 King Blood Mutant? That's a boss fight from hell. A tear-jumping kill was impossible against this absolute monster. Even at the same level, this fight would be suicidal. But check this. A level 16 summon was actually tanking? A 36-level gap? That is straight-up broken plot armor. Ye Kexi moved. A blinding golden aura exploded around her. Glowing pentagrams flared under them. The real power-up was starting. Infinite energy flowed into Hei Ming's paws, surging like a tide. Buff stacked. Hei Ming's core stats were suddenly breaking every record. Ye Kexi looked shook. Her jaw literally hit the floor. On Ji Kong, these buffs were god tier. But on this, the scaling was weirdly low. It was honestly kind of unsettling. No time to wait. She triggered her ultimate, Divine Sanctuary. One quick chant later, a massive goddess appeared above Hei Ming. Clutching twin blades, she loomed like a holy judge descending. Above the giant black wolf, her sharp blades glinted dangerously. Her eyes snapped open, releasing a pressure that flattened everything. Meanwhile, I secretly slipped in some extra enhancement arts. Sneaky! With those stacks, Hei Ming's power hit a monstrous 2,000. The magic surge turned his black flames into a furnace. Even 100 meters away, the heat was melting skin. That transformation set the drake off. Big Guy was salty. It snarled in rage, locking eyes with our doomed trio. Ji Kong locked in. He drew steel, activating absolute transcendence. The earth exploded. He moved so fast he basically teleported. He appeared above the drake's head in a literal blink. A dozen strikes landed instantly, but the drake's hide? Solid. Not a single scratch. To the drake, he was a bug. Ji Kong retreated, but the drake wasn't done with him. It threw its head back and let out a roar. Yellow energy erupted, creating a massive gravity domain for everyone. The pressure was brutal. Ji Kong could barely even stand. A giant palm shadow covered him like a falling mountain. Ji Kong's face paled. He threw out every defensive spell, but the barriers rose only to snap like fragile toothpicks. Everything shattered instantly. Is this really the end of him? Despair hit him. Is it game over for our hero? Pain flared as teeth bit deep. He struggled like a beast. A massive palm descended then. A black blur struck. The impact floored the rock drake. A gale erupted. Dust cleared, revealing a colossal black wolf standing proud. Ji Kong scrambled back, wearing a nervous, forced grin. Man, that drake's hiding a second talent, he gasped. It's beyond level 55. We're totally outclassed here. No way we win this, he thought, swallowing his pride. He was the first to run. Without Hei Ming, he'd be a permanent stain on the floor right now. Suddenly, a golden gravity field crushed the entire area. Hei Ming buckled under the weight. Ji Kong panicked. Can he win? Yakesi hissed through grit teeth. Sweat poured as she pushed her buffs to the limit. Heal up. If this fails, we're out of here. I stayed chill. Fall back 1 kilometer. Now. Hey, Ming's unlocking his real power. They froze. That wasn't even his final form. They bolted. No questions asked. They ran for their lives. From a distance, an earth-shattering roar split the sky. Black flames exploded, turning the world into hell. The inferno swallowed everything for 1,000 meters. A 700-meter phantom rose from the dark. It was a hungry god, ready to devour existence. They turned pale. True terror chilled their souls. Yukezi collapsed as her goddess shield began cracking. The divine barrier was shredded like cheap paper. It felt like seeing her own god get backhanded. Even the massive rock drake's eyes filled with horror. Its legendary stone scales melted like butter in fire. Every ounce of its energy was sucked away instantly. Trapped. Hey, Ming's face twisted into a cruel smirk. Mocked and desperate, the drake lunged in a fury. Its mountain-sized palm tore through the black hellfire. It struck with golden light. Hey, Ming stood firm. Shadow claws lashed out like lightning, striking back. Boom! A shockwave of black and gold erupted. The beast shrieked as pain finally pierced its hide. Those unbreakable scales were torn open like silk. Void heat began consuming its very soul and life. Panic. It whipped its 100-meter tail in desperation. Hey Ming danced through the air, dodging effortlessly. He lunged in close, shadow claws ready to finish it. The drake wailed. Its ultimate defense was now trash. The invincible king was finally tasting his own blood. The beast was shredded. High defense, sure, but zero agility. It moved like a slug. Meanwhile, He Ming's phantom range was pure overkill. He Ming stayed back, playing it cool, as the drake threw a tantrum, stomping the ground helplessly. 30 minutes of grinding later, the rock giant finally buckled. Its life flickered out. Those eyes, smelling like pure fear. He Ming didn't blink, only hunger remained. Black flames boiled. 1 claw, 1 kill. The drake gave a final, pathetic roar, before its mountain-sized body hit the dirt like a bomb. Instantly, those black flames turned it into a midnight snack. Suddenly, a drone buzzed overhead. The guys in the command center just stared at the screen, their souls leaving their bodies. Young Xiao's eyes locked onto the wolf. The drake? Vanished. He got the message instantly. The boss was officially dead. He thought. Jumping 2 ranks was already a total cheat. Then he skipped 3 ranks to butcher a 3-headed serpent. Now he soloed a level 52 king-class beast? Insane. Seriously, how many more secret mods is this guy using? Yang Xiao knew those alien clans would target Chen Lin now. He grinned like a villain. Tomorrow, leak the serpent footage. Post it on the forum. Let everyone see our secret weapon. The squad headed back, and Yakexi was totally fanboying. Junior Chen Lin, your summon is a literal nightmare fuel. Wang Yao and Ji Kong just nodded, completely shell-shocked. Ji Kong sighed. Everyone thinks I'm carrying you. What a joke. Truth is, we're just luggage. You did all the work. Take the points, Chen Lin. You and Yakexi earned them. I just shrugged. Nah. We stick to the original deal. Besides, I'm still hungry. Who wants to hunt level 50s? After devouring that lizard, He Ming's evolution bar went nuclear. 150 points, 10 times the usual level 40 trash. 10 more kills and it's upgrade time. Ji Kong's eyes lit. He was down. With Yakexi's buffs, the real massacre started. We swept every level 50 beast in the entire zone. By midnight, He Ming was maxed out. Time to bounce. Back at base, the staff were looking at us like gods. 11 high-level kills in 1 day? That's a world record. An officer gasped. There are only 1,000 left in Bian. At this speed, he'll clear the whole map in weeks. Yang Xiao nodded, satisfied. These beasts were the Surge's fuse. With them gone, the colossal titans wouldn't dare make a move. Back at the dorm, I hopped on the gear shop. I burned my hard-earned points on 10 second-tier crystals. Because in this game, contribution points are the ultimate power-up. These points definitely have more buying power than any gold. Forget cash. In this messed-up world, school credits are the ultimate flex. Earn them by hunting mutant freaks or saving humanity. Simple, right? My life crystals finally arrived. 10 thumb-sized stones of pure, raw power. They shattered instantly, dissolving into a massive flood of energy inside me. Level 20! I could feel the power surging through my entire body. I saw the Transcendence prompt on my panel and smashed it immediately. A blinding white flash swept through as I jumped between worlds. When my vision cleared, I was standing in a massive, desolate plain. A floating frame appeared. Coordinate ID 00996. This world is infested by the Fallen. They enslave everything they touch. Mission? Exterminate them all. Time limit? 24 hours. No turning back. I'm stuck here. These Fallen creeps are actually invading other dimensions too. They aren't just attacking humanity. They're spreading like a cosmic plague. I reached the cliff's edge and looked down at their massive plantation. A pack of gray-skinned fallen stood there, 2 meters of pure ugliness. Horned freaks watching with sick amusement as the humans suffered below. Those poor souls were forced to bleed themselves dry for the harvest. They were feeding blood-red fruit with their lives. I was absolutely livid. Silver light flared. My combat armor snapped into place, covering me. The ground exploded as I leaped off that 100-meter cliff like a meteor. 2 fallen were just chatting when I crashed down right behind them. They spun around, confused. A silver blur burst from the dust clouds. I was on them in a heartbeat, moving at terrifying, blinding speeds. My armored fist, wrapped in shockwaves, drove straight into a gray face. His nose shattered. He flew back like a cannonball into the mud. He skidded dozens of meters, leaving a massive trail in the dirt. Without that tough body, his skull would have popped like a ripe melon. The other freak panicked, summoning a dark energy spear in his hand. He lunged, but I didn't even flinch. I caught the tip easily. I snapped his weapon like a toothpick. He started screaming for help. He tried to call his kin, but I'm faster. Warblade already out. One clean stroke split him down the middle. Gray blood sprayed everywhere. My armor was coated in filth. Every fallen nearby finally noticed me. Rows of terrifying eyes locked on, burning with intense demonic rage. I didn't flinch. My warblade extended into a massive 3-meter halberd. The heavy weapon roared through the air with terrifying, crushing weight. I blinked across the field, appearing right in front of another one. He raised a shield, but I blasted him straight into the cliffside. He glared at me, realizing I was faster and way more powerful. This 3-ring fallen thought he was superior to a human like me. Then he looked at the plantation guards and bared a cruel grin. He ordered them all to swarm me and harvest my blood. Every monster roared, filling the air with a disgusting, suffocating stench. I didn't care. I lunged forward, swinging that massive war halberd. The air screamed as I shattered every monster standing in my way. The fallen got their skulls crushed before they even knew what hit them. Total losers. Spears rained down on my armor, but honestly, they couldn't even leave a tiny scratch. While those idiots stood there lagging, my war halberd split the air and erased them. I've got 220 strength. Swinging a 13-ton weapon is my morning cardio. One after another, the fallen crumbled into pathetic little pieces. Gintai started to panic. It tried wrapping me in edgy black energy chains. "Hold him down together," it yelled. The words weren't even done when I yanked the chains from the other end. Its body flew forward like a rag doll. Then, my terrifying war halberd came thundering down. Its face went totally pale. It desperately pushed its talent to the breaking point. Thick black armor burst through its skin like a gross suit, but whatever. My halberd cleaved it clean in two anyway. Seeing that, Gintai went totally berserk. Its eyes turned bloodshot as it sprinted toward the king's city like a coward. I immediately swapped my halberd for a war spear and locked onto that retreating back. My arm muscles tensed up as I hurled it. The spear literally tore the air. Boom! Gintai's skull exploded. The rest roared. "He has no weapons. Get him!" Big mistake. I shoved my fist through the first guy's face before they finished. Time for some bare-knuckle violence. Every punch exploded with a massive white shockwave. Soon, all 80 fallen were nothing but smashed bits of trash. Spear time? A massive gray eye made of glowing patterns appeared in the sky. Stalker alert! I looked up at the giant eye. It seems I've been found. Whatever. I took a deep breath, let my mind stir, and summoned my boy, Haiming. Haiming's 100-meter-plus body appeared, wrapped in a terrifying aura. A huge force of fallen was already closing in. Better safe than sorry. Evolution! I hit the button and the origin power in Haiming's body began trembling. Evolutionary force swept through him. He became a pillar of pure black light. It pierced the clouds and shattered that creepy gray eye into pieces. Boom! The whole world shook. System news. My beast, Haiming, just got a buff. He got the Wellspring skill and a new talent called Death's Dual Gaze. Every attribute increased by 90 points. I finally let out a breath of relief. Another massive total upgrade. But the real prize? My flame is now Heaven Blaze. By fusing 3 powers, I can create a domain. That's basically cheating. As for Death's Dual Gaze, it's an A- ranked talent. It's gonna be cracked. Just then, another pattern flickered in the sky. That massive gray eye is back. From the horizon, a sea of fallen charged in with pure, savage ferocity. The 10 leaders at the front were already level 55. Now we're talking. A level 20 dungeon with this difficulty? That's never happened in human history. My thoughts shifted as my spear transformed back into a war halberd. I looked at the horde and said coldly, "Hey Ming, leave absolutely nothing." The black light around him intensified. The ground cracked from the sheer pressure. "Let's see if these level 55 guys can actually fight," I smirked. The fallen shrieked as they closed the distance, but I didn't even flinch. This wasn't just a battle anymore. It was about to become a massacre. My heart raced. Rebellious? Maybe. Overpowered? Definitely. Let's go. The war halberd glowed with dark light, ready to taste more monster blood. It shifted into a war halberd as I said coldly, "Hey Ming, leave nothing." Nah, 0 survivors. The second I spoke, Hey Ming's form erupted like a volcano. Space warped as he became a nightmare beast, a titan of pure shadow. 550 meters of terror, stretching a full kilometer across the sky. Abyssal flames detonated, cloaking his body. Those deep blue eyes, now ghostly gray. Saturated with a deathly chill, every heart in the vicinity just stopped. A savage howl tore through the air, shaking the earth for 10 miles. Under that suffocating pressure, the fallen legion froze like statues in hell. From skin to soul, a primal dread invaded their very existence. Hellish flames licked the sky, promising nothing but absolute, total annihilation. Even miles away, the blistering heat felt like standing inside a furnace. Towering over 1,000 meters, Heiming's single step swallowed the horizon whole. One thundering footfall sent the elite 5-ring fallen into a panicked frenzy. Then total combustion. Heiming lunged with the force of a falling moon. The earth shattered for miles as he triggered his divine swiftness skill. Channeling heaven and earth energy, his wellspring surged with infinite power. In a literal blink, he manifested right in the heart of the enemy. Looking down with icy indifference, he raised a claw the size of a city. A massive shadow eclipsed the sun. The fallen were turned into red mist. Black flames devoured the remains instantly. This was a one-sided slaughter. Their commander, Lile Ara, screamed, "Ignore the beast, go kill the human!" Watching the cowards try to flank him, Heiming's eyes went absolute zero. His front paw slammed down with a roar that rivaled the gods. A kilometer-wide shockwave of black fire detonated, erasing every single life form within. Panic turned into agonizing screams. This wasn't just heat, it was a curse. Their very souls were being drained. In seconds, the weak simply turned to dust. Lyris's jaw hit the floor. Damn it, this can't be happening. What kind of cheat code power is this? It's burning our lifespans directly. Life force is everything. Once it's gone, you're just a walking corpse. Desperate, he shrieked the order. Move now! Every second costs us decades. The longer we stall, the sooner we die. Win or lose, we're finished. The 9 elite leaders rallied, unsheathing legendary blades for a final stand. They threw every forbidden technique they had. But as the smoke cleared, a divine golden light rippled across Heiming's fur. He was untouchable. Every ultimate strike was neutralized. Lyris was vibrating with pure, unadulterated rage. Then came the counter. A massive paw descended like the hand of fate. Imagine a mountain range falling on your head. That was the impact. Lyris tore his wings out in a desperate, bloody dash for survival. He shot off like a bullet, but his soul was already screaming. Out of the void, a pair of death-filled eyes locked onto his back. Trapped in the dual gaze of the Reaper, his body completely betrayed him. Total intimidation. The massive paw slammed down as Lyris turned to stone. The crust of the world buckled. He couldn't even twitch a finger. He watched the Black Wolf descend like a literal end-of-the-world event. A natural disaster with fur and fangs, crushing the very concept of hope. The remaining 9 fallen could only watch their world end. Terror flashed in their eyes. This beast was a total nightmare. Time to bounce! The 8 cowards agreed, popping their skeletal wings. They hauled tail toward the capital, desperate to escape Heiming's hunger. Heiming finished his snack, pinning the target down with massive paws. Those cold, predatory eyes scanned the crowd, picking a victim for fun. In a flash, Heiming was behind them, claws glowing with shadow. Slice. Instant carnage. The remaining 5 fallen completely lost their marbles. Shaking with fear, they wished for jet engines on their bone wings. Suddenly, a soul-chilling aura erupted from Heiming's eyes. Pure nightmare fuel. Every hair stood up. One unlucky fallen got caught in a gray zone. Boom. His life bar hit 0 instantly. Total deletion in a heartbeat. I just watched the others charge in, totally bored by their hustle. I lunged forward, swinging my war halberd like a whirlwind of death. They turned into a bloody confetti shower, falling silent one by one. In minutes, the whole area was just ash and stray body parts. Reunited with my beast, we hit the road to hunt them all. We tracked their scent like predators. No survivors, that was the plan. After a massive monster buffet, Heiming finally hit a growth spurt. 5 meters taller, but man, this level grind is getting way too expensive. Only 100 points? The evolution cost just hit 10 times harder. Grinding is pain, but then a massive city hit the horizon. The mobs had already bolted, leaving one level 59 boss behind. Just one warrior stood there, waiting to catch these hands alone. Liardus had ice in his veins, flexing some massive 6-meter wings. Those black wings were huge, dripping with ultimate final boss energy. Talk about a trashy vibe. I scoffed. Hey Ming, take him out. I'll handle the minions. Suddenly, Hey Ming went absolutely mega-sized. 1,000 meters tall, black flames exploded like an edgy fireworks show. He looked like a straight-up apocalypse beast from a dark comic. The ground literally shattered under his flex. Everything was falling apart. Boom! Hey Ming lunged, looming over the city like a dark god. He stared down a giant wolf 100 times his own scale. Leardus stayed cool, his claws glowing with that edgy, dark lightning. He struck like a bolt from the blue, aiming to end things. But before impact, a black energy shield popped up. Denied, buddy. It was an iron wall. Not a single scratch on that defense. You're not even a king-tier scrub. Don't think you're special yet. Killing ants doesn't make you a god. Leardus was talking major trash. With a casual finger flick, he detonated the shield like it was nothing. Crash! The blast sent Heiming flying back like a total amateur. Then, dark power swirled together, forming a massive 100-meter demon blade. Rings of dark energy spiraled up Leardus's body. The vibe was heavy. His power level was officially breaking the scouter. Peak form achieved. I'm a demon prince, kid, not some low-level fodder you can stomp. Prepare to be deleted. He swung that massive blade with killer intent. A massive shadow blade sliced the heavens, crashing down with apocalyptic force. Golden light flared on Heiming's skin, desperately trying to resist the impact. It shattered like cheap glass. Heiming tanked the blow with pure grit. That is 2,500 constitution points of raw, unadulterated muscle. The earth collapsed 50 meters deep. Ahead, a massive, bottomless fissure opened. That demonic blade carved a canyon. Leardus just looked on, totally unimpressed. You're decent, he sneered. Be my pet. Just let me kill that human. Bad move, buddy. Fury blazed in Heiming's eyes like twin solar flares. He locked onto Leardus with a killer glare and unleashed a thunderous roar. The sound literally shook the world, making the very heavens vibrate in fear. Black flames exploded from his body, turning the battlefield into a living hell. Within seconds, the inferno spread for kilometers, swallowing everything in sight. A terrifying phantom, towering over 2,000 meters, began to manifest through the smoke. This time, the phantom was solid. Its aura made all of creation tremble. Sensing a power that consumes all, Leardus finally lost his smug little smile. His own life force was being stripped away. Things just got very serious. Heiming stared him down coldly. He didn't even move, just raised a claw. The massive phantom mirrored him perfectly. A crushing blow descended from the sky. Leardus panicked. He dumped everything into a barrier, but it was totally useless. That terrifying black claw shredded his defenses like they were made of paper. He was driven straight into the dirt like a common construction nail. Leardus looked pathetic now. His life force was leaking out without any pause. He snapped. A terrifying surge of dark power exploded from deep within him. It didn't even reach 10 meters before hitting a wall. He was stunned. No time to recover. The phantom claw swept down for another brutal round. Leardus went flying through massive city walls. Talk about a one-sided beatdown. Suddenly, Leardus mutated, his body swelling dozens of meters in a dark flash. Black markings crawled over his skin. He was going full-blown demon mode now. Bone wings stretched out 100 meters wide. A dark spear manifested. Dark energy detonated everywhere. He finally unleashed his fallen demon phantom talent. Die! He screamed, vanishing into a blur of pure, murderous speed. He blasted through waves of black fire, breaking free with a desperate strike. That sharp black spear was driving straight for the kill, a real nail-biter. But Heiming was way faster, thanks to that insane phantom range bonus. Heiming slapped Leardus out of the air like a pesky little mosquito. He slammed the villain into the ground, creating a massive, smoking crater. Leardus crawled out, teeth grinding. This fallen noble was having a terrible day. "What are you idiots waiting for?" he yelled. "Activate the sky sealing array." His voice echoed through the ruins. Suddenly, the sky turned pitch black. A massive dark canopy descended like a bowl, trapping the entire giant city. Giant shackles erupted from the void, binding Heiming in place with power. Dark energy poured through the chains, trying to corrupt and assimilate his soul. The corruption seeped in deep. Heiming was trapped in a nightmare scenario. Seeing him bound, Leardus burst into a fit of wild, villainous laughter. With tens of thousands of fallen souls channeling, the trap was finally complete. Total power unleashed. Even a 6-ring powerhouse would be hopelessly trapped here. "I'll make you beg for death once I'm done." But then, Heiming erupted. A primal roar. Heaven's blaze fused with gluttonous greed and titanic growth. Death's dual gaze joined them, 4 legendary powers becoming one. Chaos exploded. A 1,000-meter wave of black fire consumed everything. Pure killing intent filled the air. Within this hellish domain, every living soul felt the cold touch of the grave. Nothing survives this black sea. Even an immortal god would be reduced to ash. Above Haeming, a brutal phantom materialized, surging with terrifying god-slaying energy. It stepped into reality. Massive eyes snapped open, revealing two pairs of ashen pupils. Those eyes carried a lethal will. One single look was enough to delete existence. He was the absolute god of this realm. Resistance was officially futile. This triple talent fusion domain was pure nightmare fuel. Lyrdis's smug face finally cracked. His smile froze as raw terror took over. He was trapped in the abyss. The black flames were literally eating his life force and turning it into fuel. Death's will was grinding his soul into dust. Damn it all, he hissed. Will you drain me first, or will I corrupt your soul? Lyrdis screamed frantically. Desperate, he dumped every drop of fallen power into those demonic shackles. The corruption surged, dark energy amplified, trying to break Haeming's very spirit. Endless darkness flooded Haeming, clawing at every inch of his flesh and soul. But Haeming wasn't folding. He threw his head back and let out a defiant roar. His iron will held the darkness back, slowing the corruption to a pathetic crawl. This wolf was a born survivor, rejected by his pack and left for dead. A weak mutation abandoned in the wild. Hunger and cold were his only friends. Death almost took him, until the Master's summon changed his fate forever. From that second, Haeming swore his life to the man who saved him. Forget contracts or soul bonds, he doesn't fight because he has to. He fights because he chooses me. Suddenly, that brutal phantom roared without warning. No command needed. The ashen energy coiling the shackles just snapped, shattered into pieces. Massive claws swept down, shredding the restraints like paper. With the chains gone, the phantom fixed its icy gaze directly on Lyrdis. Killing intent detonated. Lyrdis felt a wave of pure, unadulterated dread. Danger level, maximum. His body turned gray as his life force began leaking out. Half his life was gone in seconds. Then, a desperate surge of black power erupted. He broke the deathly intent, but Lyrdis looked absolutely pathetic now. Daddy's protective buff was officially spent. He was wide open and he knew it. He didn't wait around. He tucked tail and bolted. Meanwhile, across the battlefield, I finally hit the palace plaza. It was time for the real show to start. I launched my war spear from 300 meters out. It screamed through the sky. It ripped the air apart and slammed into the horde of tens of thousands. Boom! An entire sector of Fallen was deleted instantly. The survivors were pissed. They roared, unleashing thick waves of black energy that quickly began to solidify. Dark shackles snaked around me, pumping wave after wave of corruption into my system. I felt zero pain, but inside my soul, my silver butterfly screamed in agony. Her cry hit me hard. My face went cold. Just as I prepared to take the hit, a ferocious roar tore through the chaos, changing the game once again. From out of nowhere, a massive, mountain-sized corpse comes screaming through the sky. It smashes through skyscrapers like Legos before flattening a whole squad of those fallen losers. The enemies are shaking. Their boss Lyrdis is officially room temperature now. Terror hits them like a truck, while Haeming snaps his chains like cheap plastic. I finally catch my breath and look at Haeming, who is radiating murderous intent. I frown. There is a catch: he cannot use that broken Death's dual gaze move anymore. The physical backlash is just too much for Haeming's current level to handle. He senses my worry and promises he will recover. Fine, I will trust him. I start sweeping through the palace, clearing out every last fallen like a total pro. I step into the plaza, and suddenly the sky goes completely end-of-the-world dark. Nasty energy starts swirling in the air, manifesting into a literal nightmare form. A massive ghost, hundreds of meters tall and made of evil energy, solidifies into reality. This ugly phantom is decked out in some seriously twisted, soul-chilling battle armor. A disgusting aura explodes, sending waves of black sludge energy in every direction. My silver butterfly shield is working overtime, but even I am starting to feel the heat. Then a nasty laugh echoes through the air. Finally, the ritual is complete. This fallen sky phantom, powered by 10,000 souls, packs a serious 6-ring punch. It even has the true form's power. Bakum screams, "You murdered our master! Now you will pay with your life," he yells. Me? I just stay quiet. I pull out my celestial pivot sword staff and start spamming every buff I have. I heal up Haeming, and with a ground-shaking roar, he begins to shift instantly. He goes full kaiju mode, growing 1,000 meters tall with raw, terrifying power. His aura is massive. It is officially a clash of the titans in this plaza. He pops his ultimate domain, fusing 3 epic talents into one zone of destruction. Explosive black flames mixed with golden light rain down with an insane, crushing force. Just like that, the enemy's oppressive gray domain gets absolutely wrecked by our light. The fallen crowd goes pale. They start backing away like they have seen a ghost. They would not dare stay in our domain. Wait, This is not the script. This is no average domain. It does more than eat health. It makes you heavy. It is a power drainer. Suddenly, He Ming's head glows with insane golden markings. He is radiating a divine, god-tier light that makes him look completely otherworldly. Under that terrifying pressure, everything nearby becomes impossibly heavy and starts to crumble. Pure black gold energy explodes. He looks like a demon god ready to crush hell. He lets out a howl that you can hear for tens of thousands of meters. With his domain active, He Ming's physical body is becoming even more buffed and formidable. Every single strike he throws now carries a heavy, devastating, and soul-crushing force. The Fallen realize they are in deep trouble. Their faces are turning gray with fear. In a panic, they start dumping all their dark energy into their giant ghost pet. The Phantom hits a growth spurt, stretching another 100 meters taller. Total nightmare. Its massive black bone wings unfurl, stretching out a full 1,000 meters wide. Dark energy surges. Now it is a brutal slugfest between two massive monsters. Shockwaves of gray and gold blow up everywhere like a fireworks show from hell. This fight is way out of everyone's league. No one can interfere without being vaporized. Meanwhile, deep inside a creepy palace, some guy sitting on a bone throne finally wakes. He snaps his eyes open, radiating a truly terrifying final boss aura. Who the heck is messing with my mojo? The entity scoured the past, chasing a ghostly vibe. Its soul dived straight into a hollow sky phantom. Suddenly, that empty shell woke up choosing violence. Fallen Sky's mind landed, locking eyes with He Ming. Wait, this pup's barely 6 months old? It gasped. 6-ring power already? This kid's potential is illegal. Boom. He Ming shredded the gray mist like wet paper. Dark-lit claws came swinging down with zero chill. Fallen Sky winced, teleporting back 1,000 meters instantly. It tried to fly, but He Ming was glued to it. That wolf speed was basically a total cheat code. The heavy pressure turned the Phantom's movements into sludge. Finding the gap, He Ming went full death from above. Dual claws ripped through the air like paper. The Phantom got cratered into the dirt. Hard. A 1,000-meter smash that rocked the planet. He Ming didn't stop, amping his reach with the domain. He gave Fallen Sky absolutely no room to breathe. Then, his eyes flashed with the double death stare combo. Even a puppet body couldn't ignore that fatal gaze. It was an inescapable, you're dead notification from fate. Sure, losing a soul fragment was just a minor annoyance. But this wolf? He was way too dangerous to live. If he survived, humanity would get a new god-tier powerhouse. Our invasion would be toast, no more hesitation. Fallen Sky went nuclear, detonating every ounce of power. He Ming got shoved back as the villain hit orbit. Above, the sky started drinking up infinite dark energy. Nearby minions screamed as their life force got sucked dry. They withered into raisins just to fuel the boss. A giant 1,000-meter spear materialized in the void. It was a nightmare in physical form. But wait, the gray domain shrank, coating the spear like armor. That's the throne rank flex, total domain compression. It wasn't just wide-range debuffs. It was concentrated destruction. It doubled the spear's lethality into an endgame move. Fallen Sky stayed icy, locking onto my position. In a flash, He Ming lunged forward to save me. His massive body became my ultimate fluffy meat shield. Protecting him is your death sentence, the villain laughed. But wait, the wolf's gold domain didn't spread out. It pulled inward, crushing itself into his own skin. A chain reaction of explosions shook his very core. Those black gold markings began to glow with insane power. The sky ignites. Here comes a blast of gravity like a literal nuke. 1,000 meters of earth just vanish into a massive crater. Mountains turn to dust as Fallen Sky totally loses his cool. That black spear streaks forward, aimed straight at He Ming's heart. It's a level 7 strike. Absolute world-ending destruction. But hey, Ming's aura is a brick wall, slowing it down. He Ming roars, catching the spear tip with his bare paws. Boom. 2 god-tier powers collide, shaking the fabric of reality. The shockwave nukes everything for miles as those markings glow. Hey, Ming's defense hits a whole new level of ridiculous strength. The ground shatters as Fallen Sky pours every ounce of spite. He sharpens the spear's edge, desperate to pierce through the guard. They grind against each other for minutes until the spear cracks. The weapon is failing. He Ming lets out a primal roar. He pushes his physical shell and domain past their ultimate limits. Crack. The 1,000-meter spear shatters like glass into a billion pieces. The Phantom's power dries up, dissolving into nothing but black smoke. It's over, but Fallen Sky won't forget my face in a hurry. Back in the Grey Palace, the boss rises from his throne. His aura is a literal abyss, making his subordinates shake. A level 20 kid with domain compression? He's actually spooked. That level of battle mastery is honestly terrifying even to him. This wolf has already met the requirements for the 10-ring throne. What's worse, the domain isn't just an aura, it's fused with him. It's become one with his body, a feat that defies sense. Only a heavenly king tier can pull off that kind of crazy. Fallen Sky sighs, steadies himself, and pulls out the kill list. He writes my name down as a top-tier threat. Every genius with throne potential is now a target for assassins. With a bounty on my head, the Dark King closes his eyes. Amidst the ruins, I finally deactivate my combat buffs. My head is spinning. That fight took everything out of me. Even with my magical sword staff, my mental energy is fried. Keeping those buffs active was pushing me way past the limit. I'm running on fumes, but at least the dungeon is over. The victory chime finally rings. Time to get out of here. Evaluation time. Let's see if all that carnage was worth it. Results. Phantom trashed and nearly 1,000 survivors rescued. Nice. Boom. Perfect rating. My growth attributes just got a boost. My skills leveled up, and my summoning art just went sacred. Suddenly, I'm back in my dorm, feeling like a total boss. I unsummon Ming just before he levels the building. I check my status, no class up yet. Talk about a grind. One more perfect score and I'll hit the big leagues. I take a deep breath. Whatever's next, I'm ready to crush it. Dungeon crawling for Transcendence is a grind. But these buffs? Absolutely cracked. My enhancement arts just surged from 20 to 35%. Huge. Healing's faster now, but my mana pool is draining like crazy. The real game changer? My summoning art just hit the next level. Every beast I call now rocks a sacred aura. Low-key hyped. No time to flex yet. I had to check the news. Headlines. Hundreds of survivors just spawned back into reality. Huge relief. Turns out there are people escaped from those fallen. They were enslaved in another dimension, total nightmare fuel for them. A mystery hero in silver armor saved them and sent them home. The Blue Star authorities are already handling their relocation and care. Photos showed them looking like skeletons, but they're bouncing back fast. Looks like Zhou Yuan came through with that legendary blood fruit. Finally, I could relax. My brain just hit the off switch. I passed out instantly. Then, 4 in the morning. Disaster strikes. My squad returns looking like zombies. Fang Ya is totally triggered. He literally dragged me awake. Apparently, I'm the talk of town. My 3-headed snake kill cam dropped and the internet literally broke. Once the world saw my power, everyone started sweating and grinding. The mission board is a war zone now. Nobody's taking breaks. Xiao Yang's like, the Bong Academy kids are using some pro-rotation strat. Their efficiency is insane. They're gapping everyone on the leaderboard. My teammates' egos just ignited. They aren't losing to some students. They skipped breakfast, grabbed their gear, and dove back in. I just grinned and got up. My turn to rejoin the chaos. Headed to registration, but man. My ranking took a massive hit. I fell from 10th place straight down into the 2000s. Tragic. Time to climb back. I picked 2 high stakes, spicy contracts, 1 level 59 berserk bear and a rank 6 suicide mission. I walked out like a boss. That 6-star mission though? It's an intelligent colossus. Not one single person has cleared it. Not even the elite instructors. Yang Xiao just shook his head. He thinks I'm crazy, but he's secretly dying to see me win. My personal stalker drone followed me as I headed out to hunt. Mounted on Ming, I rode deep into the mountain shadows. Found him. A dark gold berserk bear with eyes like fire. 600 meters of raw power stood up. The earth literally shivered. A violent, savage aura exploded everywhere. He roared, "Stay back, punks!" I casually hopped off Ming and started backing away slowly. That bear is way out of my league, this is Ming's show. I'm just here for the points and the loot, honestly. Need those contribution points to fuse materials for my silver butterfly. Once I hit a safe distance, Ming turned his head. Those gray eyes were cold as ice. Then, he started growing. 1,000 meters long, a literal titan, pure, unadulterated nightmare fuel. Yo, Ming just left that gold bear shaking in its boots. HQ was absolutely stunned. The female officer's jaw hit the floor. He grew to 1,000 meters in record time. Yang Sha was totally floored. A triple S rank growth talent? That is literally unheard of. Humanity has never seen this level of power. Suddenly, the ground began to disintegrate. Ming lunged forward like a bullet. Black flames detonated, and a massive nightmare took shape. A 2,000-meter phantom emerged. A 6-kilometer radius was turned into a furnace. He compressed the flames to save mana, keeping the phantom at a terrifying, lethal size. Ever since the Fallen Sky fight, Ming's control over this dark domain is god tier. The gold bear roared, desperately coiling sharp energy around its body to stay in the game. Gold light flickered on its claws, but it was useless. Against that phantom, it was tiny. Even at 600 meters, the bear looked like a dwarf. Then came the claw. A black flame strike swept down. The bear refused to quit and tried to block it. Massive shock waves exploded everywhere. The ground groaned under the pressure of dark gold energy. The earth itself trembled. Those sharp energy currents? Totally devoured by the black flames. The bear felt like a mountain was crushing it. The soil gave way beneath its paws. Its knees began to buckle slowly. It roared in defiance, refusing to bow to the phantom. Its muscles exploded with power as it tried to unleash one final desperate energy surge. But the phantom was too fast. Its movement shifted, and He-Ming saw a perfect opening. He charged straight in. Black light claws tore through the air, heading for the bear's chest. 4 deep, bone-chilling gashes were ripped open. The dark gold bear screamed in absolute agony. It felt the black flame seeping into its wounds, literally drinking its life force away. Its eyes went full psycho. It locked into a suicidal, frenzied brawl with He-Ming. Blood splattered the ground in heavy waves, but every single drop belonged to the bear. Behind that brutal phantom, He-Ming was untouchable. He did not even have one scratch. Finally, the bear threw its head back and howled. Its momentum hit a fever pitch. Then, it suddenly turned tail. It sprinted in a desperate, wild retreat toward the mountains. Trees were snapped like twigs. Thick waves of dust and smoke rolled across the forest. He-Ming froze for a split second before shifting gears into a high-speed chase. With agility over 2,500, he was moving at the absolute speed limit. The distance vanished in a blink. The bear looked back in terror, howling for help. It was calling for its king. Far away, a colossal beast stirred from ancient slumber. It slowly opened its eyes. Countless blue lightning arcs crackled around its massive body. A terrifying roar echoed across 100,000 meters. The king was coming for blood. A bear monster with shoulders 1,000 meters tall came striding through the lightning storm. This was the level 62 undying berserk bear. The little bear rushed to snitch. It whined that He-Ming was the bully. Then, the king's blue lightning exploded with rage. At those words, the king's blue lightning exploded. It surged wildly, lighting up the horizon. The clear sky vanished, replaced by a violent downpour. Lightning struck the earth repeatedly. Thunderclouds gathered into a world-ending storm. This was the true power of a god-tier beast. They can reshape heaven and earth. This was way stronger than anything seen before. The atmosphere felt like the end of the world. He-Ming stood his ground against it. The lightning was a relentless barrage, turning the battlefield into a literal electric graveyard. Can our boy survive this level 62 monster? The stakes just hit the ceiling. The domain of a colossal beast is no joke. It is time for the ultimate showdown. Will He-Ming become the predator or the prey? Stay tuned for the carnage, fam. A king-tier phantom? Great. Just my luck. Things just got real. I unsheathed my celestial staff, buffing He-Ming with everything I had. That undying bear's eyes locked onto us. Then, the ground literally detonated. It vanished and reappeared instantly, but He-Ming wasn't having it. Black flames. Those flames weren't just for show. They carried pure, soul-crushing pressure. Black gold runes flared across He-Ming. The bear suddenly felt like lead. Lightning domain? Cancelled. He-Ming just dropped its own ultimate field. Towering over 1,000 meters, it looked like a literal god demon. This beast could crush heaven and earth. The aura alone was terrifying. Everything trembled. For the first time, that monster bear actually looked scared. Facing those black lightning claws, the bear roared and swung a massive palm. Black gold collided with blue lightning, sending a tsunami of destruction everywhere. It was world-ending. The bear pushed its domain to the absolute breaking point. Too bad! It couldn't escape the crushing weight of He-Ming's power. Talk about a triple threat. He-Ming's domain fused all 3 talents. Even throne-level power couldn't stand a chance against this level of oppression. Desperate, the bear roared and lashed out with its other claw. It inhaled pure, chaotic lightning, but He-Ming didn't even blink. Claws met claws. These 2 titans started trading blows like absolute monsters. Shockwaves detonated in rapid fire as the very earth began to crumble. Nature was wiped out. Lightning rained down, hammering into He-Ming repeatedly. My boy just tanked it all. Pure muscle, 0 openings for the enemy. I stayed back, spamming recovery spells to keep my companion in the fight. The stalemate broke. Suddenly, He-Ming was completely dominating the battlefield. The bear lost it, screaming, "Kill that human, now!" A dark gold lackey bear locked eyes with me and charged. Not good. Big mistake. He-Ming exploded with protective rage right then and there. Its eyes flared gray, drowning the whole world in a murderous fog. That gray mist started eating the bear's life force right off its bones. Just like that, the beast collapsed, its life hanging by a thread. But the main boss took that split-second opening to launch a counter. Thunderclaws slammed directly into He-Ming's head with a blinding explosion. The impact was insane. He-Ming buckled under the weight of that strike. The earth shattered. The bear wasn't stopping, pressing its advantage without mercy. Thunder hammered down like a drum. Then, the other bear started waking up. It roared, charging me again. Great, time to get the heck out. But then, a massive rumble echoed from the horizon. Out of the dust, a warrior in gold armor suddenly emerged. She was rocking a giant 4-meter halberd, sprinting straight into the chaos. Jifei was insanely fast. Every single step she took cracked the pavement. Her halberd carved a deep scar through the dirt as she closed in. She reached the bear, swung that massive blade, and took a flying leap. The blade grew to 20 meters. She slammed it down with lethal force. One total shatter strike carved deep, devastating wounds right through the monster. The hit landed perfectly on the beast's already broken, bleeding body. Her body was trashed, but that golden bear was still thirsty for blood. As that massive paw fell, Jifei's battle spirit just exploded. That war halberd grew huge as she vanished, dodging the killing blow. Then, slash, she sliced straight through that golden monster's thick hide. Minutes later, that hairy mountain of muscle finally hit the dirt. In one last petty move, it let out a storm of blades. But please, Jifei saw that coming a mile away. Her pure chi flared red, turning her into a living legend. With one swing, she shattered those energy currents like they were glass. Finally, she soared high and dropped a 30-meter halberd of doom. Bear skull? Crushed. Game over. Then she just strolls up all casual. She flashed a smirk. Well, was that a cinematic rescue or what? Total female Tyrannosaurus vibes, honestly. I just kept my mouth shut. So, Coach G, what brings you to this death trap? She just grinned. Things got noisy, so I figured I'd check it. Yeah, right. Like I'm actually supposed to believe that excuse? Same old lie, same old G. I just stared at her weapon. Sure thing, boss. Meanwhile, Hei Ming saw I was safe and focused. He pulled his shadow domain back to 1,000 meters instantly. The pressure became insane, totally crushing the bear's aura at last. It was a straight-up murder fest now as they both lunged in. The ground literally disintegrated. Entire mountains were turning into pebbles. Talk about total chaos. This was some end-of-the-world stuff. Suddenly, the sky went psycho with lightning tens of thousands meters high. High-voltage bolts started raining down like it was freaking Judgment Day. Black thunder clouds swirled over Hei Ming, forming a 10,000-meter eye. Something ancient and scary was brewing inside that storm, looking for blood. But Hei Ming? Zero fear. His gray eyes were cold as ice. He pulled his domain tight, compressing all that power into himself. Within 10 seconds, that whole territory was fused into his very skin. Those black gold marks started glowing like neon, radiating pure terror. The world went dark. On one side, a storm of divine punishment. Infinite lightning bolts were screaming down to erase everything in sight. On the other, a 1,000-meter wolf, glowing like a god demon. He looked the heavens right in the eye, totally mocking them. Two legendary forces were literally tearing the fabric of reality apart. It was breathtaking. All that lightning merged into one final killing strike. The bear let out one last roar as the sky turned pitch black. Suddenly, 10,000 meters of space just went dark. Zero visibility. Then, boom. A blue lightning pillar smashed down from the stars. That 1,000-meter-wide bolt vaporized the air and everything else. Hei Ming took the entire hit right to the face. Direct strike. The ground disappeared. A 300-meter-deep crater was all that remained. But inside that hole, the 600-meter wolf was still standing. His markings blazed brighter than ever, the only light left in existence. That overgrown rug of a berserk bear actually looked shook. Impossible, it shrieked. With every bone-crushing step, Haining's massive pressure literally shattered the ground. Like a god of death, Haining closed in on the trembling beast. Those icy gray eyes held zero mercy, just pure, unadulterated bloodlust. Haining lunged, claws out, dragging a suffocating wave of power behind him. As the beast breathed its last, the command center absolutely exploded with cheers. We actually won. That summon isn't just a beast, it's a straight-up god. There he stood, unyielding beneath a savage bolt of heavenly lightning. That legendary silhouette was now burned into their souls forever. Yang Xiao smirked. Being a peak 9th-tier powerhouse meant seeing what others missed. Dominating a domain was a feat reserved only for throne-level legends. Even a pro like him had barely managed to stabilize his own. True mastery was still miles away, but that black wolf? Different story. He'd pulled off domain fusion, the ultimate flex of a heavenly king tier. Crawled back to the dorm at dawn. Some soldier handed me a locked chest. Gift from Commander Yang Xiao, he said. I just gave a tired nod. Inside, 6 top-tier summoning ingredients. My eyes practically turned into dollar signs. A little bonus for the mutant slaying spree? I'll take it. Gotcha time. I was dying to see what a sacred aura beast looked like. Ingredients prepped, hand extended. Time to roll for a legendary summon. I threw my palm open and ignited the forbidden summoning art. Magic arrays flared to life. As the link snapped shut, gold light erupted. A blinding explosion of brilliance later, a humanoid figure finally emerged. Golden hair, golden wings, and an aura so pure it felt holy. I checked the race stats and froze. A literal angel. Unreal. Llewellyn once summoned a mere angel shadow, and that was legendary. That shadow alone was a double S rank talent. This was different. The angel race was the absolute pinnacle of summoner power. No summoner in history had ever managed to contract a real angel. They're too proud. They don't do masters or contracts, period. But this tiny golden girl before me was barely clinging to life. Broken wings, battered spirit. I didn't get a weakling. I got a tragedy. I just shook my head and laughed at my own luck. She answered my call, so I wasn't about to leave her hanging. I reached out and tapped a finger against her pale, tiny forehead. Suddenly, a voice echoed in my skull. Assessment initiated. Unbreakable loyalty detected. Initiate lifebound contract? Heck yeah. Confirm. Agony ripped through my soul, followed by a voice from the abyss. Bond complete. Congrats. Your summon just unlocked a unique god-tier talent. Rotation of the sun and moon. The unconscious angel began to hover. A massive, ancient force surged into her, rewriting her very DNA. Her shattered life force began to spark back to life instantly. After a while, those long golden lashes gave a tiny twitch. She trembled, opening her eyes as a new dawn broke through. Her golden lashes fluttered, and she finally looked at me. Those golden eyes shimmered with a terrifyingly divine power. A scorching sun burned in her left eye, radiating pure majesty. Her right eye held a frozen moon, cold and hauntingly silent. Golden wings unfurled behind her, glowing with breathtaking beauty. Everything about her presence shattered the limits of human perfection. She was beyond mortal comprehension. Then, the tiny angel approached. Her little hands grabbed my sleeve. "Master," she whispered softly. I grinned at my new partner. "So, what's your name?" Angel names aren't just labels. They are sacred, soul-bound identities. "Diana?" she murmured. I nodded, feeling a spark of curiosity. "Diana, you're barely a year old. Why accept the contract?" Angels usually despise being summoned by mere humans like me. But as I spoke, the light in Diana's eyes faded. The tree fell. "Darkness took them all," she said quietly. It clicked instantly. Her home had been totally wiped out. My summoning ritual had actually been her only escape route. I stroked her hair. "Don't worry, I'll take you back someday." She leaned into my touch. "I believe you, Master." I checked her stats. Level 20 Eclipse Angel. Pure Insanity. Skill, Sacred Blessing. A massive 50% attribute boost. Radiant Sanctity. A divine light that purifies the entire battlefield. It heals all wounds while granting an impenetrable sacred shield. Her talent, Sun and Moon Rotation, was the real game changer. By day, nothing stays hidden. By night, final annihilation begins. Ring blades manifest, ready to shred anything in her path. When both forces converge, time itself grinds to a halt. I stood there, speechless. This was way beyond strong. Whether utilizing sun or moon, she was an absolute powerhouse. Combining them literally bends the laws of time and space. The angel race is truly on a whole different level. I tucked Diana away and prepped for the next hunt. Meanwhile, the command center was glued to their monitors. They expected a show, but I walked out alone. "Wait, where's the beast?" they groaned, feeling totally cheated. Everyone started betting on what kind of monster I'd hidden. Young Xiao stayed silent. He knew I was already legendary. With that black wolf alone, my potential was already god tier. But far in the mountains, a dark ritual was beginning. Chanting ancient, forbidden syllables, a man made the world tremble. Reality began to shatter like glass under an invisible weight. The void tore open, spanning dozens of meters wide. Corruption poured out, staining the very air with pure malice. The man cackled. The ritual was finally a bloody success. Something monstrous from the deep abyss was crawling through. Space groaned as massive claws forced the rift even wider. Pitch-black claws ripped through space. 100 demonic rejects just crashed the party. Most are 4 or 5 ringers. Anything beefier would literally pop this fragile rift. Talk about a shaky doorway. One sneeze and this spatial tunnel collapses forever. The real heavy hitters could bash through, but they're playing it low-key. Smash the door too hard, and humanity's radar goes off like crazy. Ha ha ha, time to paint this world red. I'm going on a total rampage. Cold malice hits like a tidal wave. The middle-aged snitch goes totally pale. He chokes back his fear. "So, you brought the goods you promised, right?" Likru, the big bad, looks at him like he's stepped in something gross. He tosses a loot bag over. The traitor catches it like his life depends. One peek inside and his eyes turn into literal dollar signs. Total jackpot. This haul is his golden ticket to 7th Transcendence. Power up, baby. The price? Just selling out his own species. Talk about a dark bargain. Likru snaps. Enough drooling. Hand over the list of human prodigies now. The trader fumbles, handing over the data he's been creepily collecting lately. Check out this kid, Chenlin. He's definitely the one to watch. Likru's not impressed. Level 16? This kid looks like a total scrub. Why should I care? The rat man starts sweating and explains the hype. 3 days ago, this level 16 kid absolutely wrecked a high-tier beast. He pulls out the receipts. 4K Ultra HD proof of the total slaughter. Watching the footage, Likru's smug face drops into a mask of pure horror. That power is insane. Only our royal bloodlines should have that much juice. This human brat is a glitch. He must be erased immediately. Beside him, Lacer Lay's eyes sparkle with a very different kind of hunger. She licks her lips, purring. Ooh, let me take care of him personally. Likru sighs. I know you want him as a pet, little sister. Corruption or execution, it's all the same. Just go and kill him. He barks the order. Find your targets and slaughter them all. Every demon in the squad flashes a wicked, bloodthirsty grin at once. Like a swarm of nightmares, they scatter into the winds. High-tech drones catch the show. Wait, demons? In this neighborhood? No way. Red alert. Evacuate all cadets from the mountain range right now. Scramble all units. This is not a drill. Full combat deployment. They're all 4-ringers at least. This is going to be a total bloodbath. The commander's face turns grim as she fires off frantic battle orders. Yang Xiao isn't even blinking. He just says, let's move. He heads straight for the exit without looking back. Pure boss energy. She knows he's going into the fire to save those kids personally. But those old wounds. This mission will probably break him for good. Rage burns in her eyes. She hates being so helpless right now. Why am I a non-combatant? I can't do anything but watch them. Fists clench throughout the room. A heavy shadow falls over their hearts. Silence falls over the room. The tension is thick enough to choke. Only the beep of frantic transmissions breaks the heavy air. Meanwhile, on a jagged cliff, a demonic huntress begins her move. A seductive shadow glides down. Her eyes lock onto the silver-armored target. Seeing the black giant wolf on guard, Learly smirks. Talk about a lucky break. Found him already, and he looks totally drained. This pretty boy is mine. Learly licks her lips and rockets forward. Lethal black threads explode from her skin. Feeling that toxic energy surge, I snap my eyes open. My gaze turns arctic. Hei Ming sensed her long ago. He casually lifts his head, looking totally unimpressed. He watched her approach like she was nothing more than a passing bug. The second Learly hits those double gray pupils, a primal shiver wrecks her soul. What is this? Her body is vibrating with fear, but she forces it down. Strike first, think later. She whips her black filaments out in a desperate frenzy. Like a plague of locusts, they swarm to devour the giant wolf. Boom! Golden light blasts from Hei Ming, vaporizing every single thread instantly. Those gray eyes just stare at her with absolute cold-blooded indifference. Suddenly, Leorly's mind is yanked into a void of pure, soul-sucking darkness. 2 massive, merciless gray pupils snap open, under that heavy divine gaze. Pure, unadulterated terror floods her mind. She is literally drowning in fear. Leorly is shaking like a leaf, her body totally glitched out and frozen. She watches helplessly as Hei Ming stalks toward her. Every step feels like doom. In a heartbeat, he is towering over her. Then, one massive paw slams down. Black flames erupt. Dinner time. Hei Ming begins to devour her soul. This level 56 Fallen did not stand a ghost of a chance. Pathetic. The command center goes wild. The heavy silence breaks into pure, chaotic hype. Total pro move. That black wolf is a literal cheat code. Hei Ming lifts his paw, voice deep as a canyon. Master, she escaped. Hearing that, I just give her the cold shoulder. Track her. Finish it. With Diana here, I am safe. Hei Ming can go wild for a bit. Roger that. Hei Ming's takeoff literally shatters the earth beneath him. He rockets off. Meanwhile, Leorly is hauling tail toward the portal, crying. Panic is written all over her face. She is absolutely losing her mind. Hell no, that wolf is a freaking demon. Her heart is still racing. Even with the eyes gone, the trauma is stuck on loop. She needs out. All she wants is to warn the bosses. Humanity has produced a monster. Someone who rivals the Supreme Born? The high ranks need to know now. Her mission to hunt genius kids? Yeah, that is a total trash fire now. With that wolf on the loose, any fallen is just a snack. Suddenly, a world-ending shockwave booms from behind. Leorly freezes in midair. Hei Ming goes full kaiju mode! He grows into a 1,000-meter colossus. He crosses dozens of kilometers in one leap. He is right behind her. A massive shadow falls. The paw of a god comes crashing down. The earth splits for miles. The shockwave rattles the entire mountain range. Beneath that mountain-sized paw, black flames erase Liorli from existence. My wristband pings. The next wave of fallen just hit the Balayan Mountains. Time to shake things up. I decide to split the team and hunt. Keeping two overpowered summons together is just a waste of pure firepower. I signal a miniature drone. Game on. Let's see who dies next. He Ming let instinct take the wheel. He exploded into motion. A wild hunger flared in those gray eyes like never before. The officer gasped. Only days, and it is already a monster. Give it a year. It might actually slaughter a throne rank. It is total insanity. In history, such power is nearly mythical. Only 85 throne ranks ever emerged in over a century. Every legend fought for decades to reach that lonely peak. They were the survivors among millions of gifted talents. The alien clans are the reason these legends are rare. That frontline meat grinder devours geniuses for breakfast. Every alien assault leaves behind a trail of endless bodies. Throne ranks fell like flies. Only 30 still breathe today. Deep in the mountains, a golden warrior unleashed pure hell. Her halberd roared with blood-red energy against the darkness. 4 level 55 fallen were pinned by her savage might. The air literally detonated. The monsters were forced back. Liku scowled. He began forging a spear of pure shadows. No more games. There were too many targets to kill. Liku lunged. A black streak of death aimed for her. The cursed spear hissed with enough power to end everything. Ji-Fei reacted instantly. Her blood chi exploded like a star. Her halberd grew massive, pulsing with pure, savage energy. Shockwaves tore out. Ji-Fei's eyes burned for total battle. Her weapon carved a bloody arc through the ruined sky. Everything shattered. Liku watched, his expression turning grave. Level 55 with this power, she is a real threat. She dies now. Liku released his true foul darkness. Black energy swallowed the light for 100 meters. Darkness spread as the other fallen unleashed their void power. Red light shielded Ji-Fei from the creeping corruption. Her gaze went cold. You think you can turn me? Die, scum! She threw herself directly into the fire. The air screamed. Her halberd swung with world-ending force. The 4 fallen swarmed her from every possible angle. She ignored them. Her eyes were locked solely on Liku. Her momentum reached a savage peak. She would not stop. The corruption was gnawing away at her failing armor. If it breaks, she's gone. Jikong watched, totally horrified. Desperation flared in his heart. He had to move now. He pushed his limits, swinging his blade like a madman. A level 56 fallen blocked his path with a sneer. Move! He roared, desperate to reach the golden instructor. She was trapped only because she chose to save them. The fallen laughed, locking him down in a brutal deadlock. Nearby, Liku downed a vial of cursed gray blood. Imagine a power so insane it shatters reality. We are talking 6 ring throne levels of pure terror. LeCroux just smirked. With one casual flick, a jet-black spear materialized and went screaming through the air. That wicked blade cut the distance in a heartbeat. What happened next was a total nightmare. Crack! Heavy armor shattered like glass as the black spear tore ruthlessly through living flesh. The point erupted from Gay's back, leaving a trail of crimson dripping onto the cold ground. LeCroux chuckled, stepping forward like a predator. Give up and become my obedient little slave. Suddenly, a silver war spear shredded the darkness, slamming into the earth with a thunderous boom. It buried itself right at LeCroux's feet. Then, a warrior clad in silver armor charged into view. LeCroux's confident expression finally flickered. This was definitely not part of his twisted little plan. So my sister failed to kill you? He spat. Then she is already useless dead meat. The guy didn't even flinch. Zero grief for his own blood. LeCroux is straight up ice cold. I scanned the battlefield and my gut screamed one thing. This mess was way beyond my pay grade. We needed a miracle. Fast. I focused every ounce of my will, letting my mind stir. Boom. A tiny humanoid with golden wings popped into existence. Talk about a legendary surprise summon. A wave of sacred energy instantly washed over us, turning the entire vibe of the forest holy. The 6 fallen goons froze. Their eyes locked onto the angel, their faces twisting in pure shock. But that shock turned into a disgusting, hungry greed. Their stares became dangerously intense and predatory. It is just an infant angel, one laughed. It has 0 ways to actually hurt us. In their twisted cult, corrupting a pure angel is the ultimate trophy. They were practically drooling. LeCroux was absolutely vibrating with hype. Haha, I can't believe our luck today. Chenlin, I really owe you one for bringing me such a magnificent and rare gift. Diana felt those gross, nauseating stares and her brow furrowed. She was definitely not having it. She recognized that filthy black energy instantly. These were the monsters who had ransacked her home. Pure rage flared in Diana's eyes. Her wings snapped wide as she rocketed into the sky. A miniature sun ignited within her left golden eye. The real show was finally about to begin. Scorching golden light erupted from her body like a solar flare, blinding everyone on the ground below. A massive sun, 1,000 meters wide, manifested behind her, hanging in the sky like divine judgment. Suddenly, Diana's tiny frame shifted, transforming into her breathtaking and lethal adult form in seconds. She stood tall and perfectly proportioned, radiating a majestic presence that felt absolutely boundless and divine. Her golden eyes blazed with holy fire. Then, she let that scorching light rain down on them. Every trace of that nasty black energy was vaporized. The darkness stood zero chance against her. The six fallen felt like they had been dropped into a furnace. They began writhing in agony. Their dark powers were completely suppressed. Pure, unadulterated dread filled their souls as they realized the truth. History says angels and fallen are mortal enemies, usually locked in a perfectly balanced, eternal stalemate. But today, under the heat of this new sun, that old balance was crushed like a bug. This was no longer a fair fight. It was a total cleansing of the dark side. "I shall evolve your souls and burn away your heavy sins," she declared with cold, divine authority. As her majestic words echoed, the great sun behind Diana flared with an even more terrifying intensity. The golden radiance painted the entire world for 10,000 meters in a brilliant, blinding shade of gold. It was as if a second sun had claimed the heavens, shaking the very foundations of reality. A massive solar force hammered the area. Suddenly, the bodies of all six fallen ignited into flames. Searing golden fire began melting their very souls. Their arrogant smirks were replaced by horrific death howls. Lecrue's face twisted in a mask of horror. His world was literally burning down around him. All that cocky excitement from before? Gone. Replaced by a world of pure, agonizing physical and mental pain. Driven by fury, he desperately unleashed his six-ring power for one final, hopeless last stand. That shield doubled up. A black void tried to block the light, failing miserably. Forget basic sparks. This golden hellfire aimed straight for the enemy's soul. It sliced through logic. Physical armor? Totally useless garbage against this power. Only a god-tier spirit defense could survive this absolute soul corruption. The shadows vanished. Giffey looked up, squinting at that badass in the sky. Radiant, majestic. Seriously, looking at her was like staring into the sun itself. You actually did it. You summoned a freaking angel. You never stop flexing. Waves of holy juice rained down. Pure sacred energy followed that golden glow. Healing factor? Maxed out. Everyone's wounds started closing up in record time. Jikong, looking like Swiss cheese, felt a sudden surge of cozy warmth. His pain evaporated instantly. He stopped playing safe and went full beast mode. One mini-sun in the sky, and the whole vibe of the war flipped. Liakru was shook. His big villain brain energy was totally failing him. Every book he ever read was a lie. This was total absolute nonsense. Damn it. Aren't baby angels just healers? This is some serious cheating. One look into Diana's golden eyes and his knees went to jelly. His eyes were literally bleeding. It felt like facing his own demon king. He knew he was cooked. Drag this out and his soul becomes toast. Desperation kicked in. He screamed, "Go kill that puny human right now!" Dark energy exploded. Boom! Liakru lunged, aiming to swat Diana down. He charged like a madman, trying to knock the goddess off her throne. Diana didn't even blink. Cold, savage. She just raised a single hand. Boom! A million sunblades materialized. Lightsabers for days, baby. They locked onto every monster, packing pure evolutionary heat and burning agony. Light swords shredded Liakru, sending him crashing down like a broken kite. 100 meters to zero. Faceplant. Diana stood there like a divine boss. She looked like a celestial empress commanding the sun's very soul. The villains gritted their teeth as golden steel turned them into pincushions. Not just flesh wounds, their dark power was being bleached out completely. Their souls were literally on fire. This sun is way too overpowered. Liakru looked like he swallowed a lemon. "Don't trip," he growled. "The fallen emperor promised backup. We just gotta hold the line." Right on cue, some gray-robed creeps came sprinting out of nowhere. Every single one was a rank 6 powerhouse. Total sweaty tryhards. Jay saw the Shadow logo and lost her mind instantly. The Shadow Congregation! Those cultist losers are finally showing up. The weirdos ignored her, leaping straight for the real prize. Their target was me. Diana saw them coming and flexed again. Soul-burning fire erupted, golden light cannons locked and loaded. But these cultists were tanks. They just ate the damage and kept pushing. Solar mode lacked that final execution move. Time for a change. The sun behind Diana started to implode. Reality itself began to warp. That golden eye faded, replaced by something way more chilling. A lonely moon rose, cold, silent. Pitch black darkness swallowed the world. Pale moonlight kissed the sky. The real nightmare starts now. The vibe just went from scary to we're totally screwed in 1 second. Those cultist creeps looked up and instantly crapped their pants. Bye-bye, sunny vibes. Diana's eyes were now colder than my ex's heart. Zero emotion. Her holy glow totally ghosted the scene. Just pure frost. Her golden hair and wings went full Silver Slay mode. She stood against the moon like some legendary ice-cold goddess. 9 ring blades spawned, dripping with the red aura of literal doom. They spun slowly as Diana's voice dropped, sounding totally dead inside. 6 ring blades zipped through the air at your already dead speeds. They reached the cultists in a blink. Their faces went totally pale. They popped their shields, but against that final annihilation force, those barriers crumbled like paper. It was a total wipeout. Bodies were sliced in half. Then, Likru finally broke free from the heat. He rocketed straight toward Diana, aiming for the sky. He forged a massive 10-meter black spear out of pure edgelord energy. He chucked it. That spear shattered the sound barrier, aiming for her head. It locked onto Diana, but her blades intercepted it instantly. The spear got diced into sushi. Meanwhile, the last 2 blades homed in on Likru. Down below, the rest of the losers saw this. They bum-rushed me, eyes glowing with I'm gonna kill you energy. They figured I had to die. My wolf was already 28 levels higher. But this sun and moon angel, she's just straight up cheating. She's low-diffing enemies in the level 50s and 60s. If I ever hit my max level, it's game over for everyone. But Diana just gestured, calling 3 blades back like a boss. She sent them at the goons, and the blades slammed together. They fused into a 6 set of 3 intertwined death rings. The annihilation energy coiling around them surged to max power. 1 red flash later, and every single goon was literally deleted. Diana looked at Likru, who was still struggling for his life. She raised her hand. All 6 blades began the ultimate fusion. Likru panicked and popped his Royal Throne bloodline ability. He dumped his last mana just to push those blades away. He glared at me, his eyes burning with pure, salty jealousy. Like, why would a top-tier angel follow a noob like me? But he just laughed like a psycho and pulled out a black disc. As it spun, the ground lit up for 100 meters. This throne summon was originally meant for some SSS rank prodigy, specifically to stop anyone from acting as a guardian for them. But my summons? They were way too broken to let me live. I was growing too fast. Right then, the summoning circle exploded. Runes twisted together, forming a massive pitch-black summoning array. Then, a 10-meter-tall gray beast slowly emerged from the shadows. Its aura hit like a truck, making it hard to even breathe. Ji-Kong and the squad turned ghost white. This was pure, hopeless despair. Shadows of pure rot snaked out, decaying all in their path. Nature withered instantly as Diana's expression turned deadly serious. She raised a hand, swapping the pale moon for a scorching sun, but even that holy light couldn't pierce the absolute darkness. My gut screamed run, and I was ready to bolt instantly. Too late. A massive, pitch-black magic array trapped us tight. Yang Xiao casually walked up and patted my shaky shoulder. Don't sweat it, kid. I've been hunting this alien throne. It clicked. We weren't the prey, this was an epic trap. The alien boss didn't care. We were just background noise. It stared coldly toward our base, ignoring us like ants. Then, a summoning array erupted with world-ending power levels. A sky-shattering force crashed down like a falling god. In a heartbeat, he arrived, staring down the alien king. The throne spoke. Jiang Ju, why abandon the front lines? Aren't you afraid your precious defense will fall without you? Jiang Ju just waved it off like it was nothing special. Whatever. Humanity has already decided to bet it all on fate. The alien king realized he'd walked right into an ambush. He didn't flinch. Jiang Ju glanced down at us and barked. Scram! Unless you want to be atomized by the shockwaves, Yang Xiao grabbed us and hauled our butts out of there. Throne-level brawls can delete entire cities in a single second. Even with Jiang Ju's barrier, we were just massive liabilities. The alien king didn't move. His eyes stayed on Jiang Ju. With that legend present, no one could touch a hair on us. He's been a frontline beast for 2 years, a true monster. Every powerhouse in the galaxy knows not to mess with him. As we fled, a massive gray domain swallowed the horizon. The earth groaned as shockwaves ripped through the barrier. Miles away, the squad was still busy mopping up trash. Yang Xiao stopped me. Chenlin, let your pets play too. I nodded. It was a perfect chance to farm some XP. My silver butterfly was definitely overdue for a massive upgrade. It was struggling against those pesky 4-ring fallen monsters lately. So I sent Diana out to solo the remaining enemy scum. Yang Xiao's jaw dropped. An angel? You're kidding me, right? An angel's combat stats are just as cracked as the wolf's. If she hits throne rank, we'll basically have 2 nukes. He explained that humanity finally had the upper hand now. Those alien chumps thought their traitors gave them the win. In reality, we fed those rats fake info the whole time. We let them get cocky just to set this trap up. Soon, we'll deliver a killing blow. He looked at me seriously. He spilled everything. I finally saw the whole endgame strategy. Check it, no more secrets, the game's revealed. Secrets leaked, so humanity set a massive trap. Step 1? Delete every elite intruder back here. Step 2? Bait a throne and crush it. The cost? Young legends sacrificed as clueless bait. That's total war, brutal, cold, and totally unfair. Just then, Hei Ming and Diana finally returned. Diana shifted back, landing softly by my side. She held my hand tightly, like my daughter. After 10 hours of carnage, the storm broke. A youth stepped through space, crossing miles instantly. Yang Xiao rushed out, seeing his flickering energy. Brother Zhang, report. Zhang Ju just scoffed. Relax. One puny alien throne? Psh, he handled it. But Diana sensed the truth deadly. Soul-eating corruption. She activated her light, glowing with pure sanctity. Zhang Ju's face twisted into a sharp scowl. Zhang Ju's brow furrowed instantly. Heal me, kid? Wait, you're an angel? Don't stop. Diana shook her head. My light is spent. This corruption is a bottomless, soul-rotting abyss. I can only shave off a tiny fraction. Zhang Ju sighed, his bravado finally cracking away. I overdid it. My mind was totally blown. Is this really how a legendary throne acts? Yang Xiao pivoted. Zhang, meet our target, Chen. The guy the aliens want dead most. Zhang Ju's eyes locked onto me, razor sharp. So, you're the brat who'll eventually surpass me? I blanked. He then spotted the silver wolf. Whoa, what a beast. Let me ride it. He lunged, but Hei Ming dodged with disgust. Seriously? This dog is actually rejecting me? I'll flip my name if I don't mount it. Yang Xiao blocked him. Don't, he's an ally. We can't have a rift between legends now. Zhang Ju pouted, voice sounding totally forlorn. I save the world but can't ride wolves? I'm out. He flew toward the base, annoyed. We followed him straight to the private office. He took the head seat, totally at home. How's the front line? Yang Xiao asked nervously. Zhang Ju had spent years fighting his curse. He was chasing Transcendence while the world burned. Tracking every bloody change required total focus. Listen up, it's team up or game over because alien scum are coming. They're here to grind us into dust, he growled, sounding totally dramatic. Every single time they swarm, tens of thousands of our guys get deleted. Even throne ranks die. These monsters use infinite spawns as their weapon. It's a brutal war of attrition. But humans? We actually value every life. Every death is a disaster, especially if they have a rare hidden class. These kids were destined to become 9th Transcendence gods, pure legendary potential. The second he finished speaking, Kanjin-ju tossed me a loaded storage pouch. Inside, a literal jackpot of life crystals and high-tier monster-slaying loot. Your beast potential is terrifying, so we're throwing all our resources at you. You're owed way more than this. Hearing that actually made my heart race. The guy really valued me. If I'd tried playing the lone wolf hero, I might have looked cool for a second, but I'd be super dead. An alien throne would have snuffed me out before I even leveled up. Going public has risks, but humanity isn't about to ditch their MVP. No way. They even assigned me top-tier throne rank bodyguards for safety. They showered me with insane resources just for being on the home team. Check this. 500 rank 5 and 6 life crystals, just like that. Plus, body-tempering yuan fruits worth 1,000 contribution points each. Zero hesitation. They know I'm the ultimate investment because of my talent. My secret weapon? Giving my summoned beasts power that scares the gods. After vibing with Yang Xiao, I dipped and headed back to the mountains. Back in the wild, I summoned Hang to start the ultimate evolution grind. I dumped the whole pouch inside. Hang literally exploded into a fireball. Black flames roared as he devoured those crystals like a hungry monster. Boom! Evolution points jumped by 1,766 in seconds. That's roughly a third of the way to a full-blown transformation. Sweet. I used my smart wristband to hunt down the next batch of victims. Time to go deeper and turn this mountain range into a monster graveyard. Over the next days, I erased every beast above level 50. Total wipeout. 16 level 60 titans and 100 level 50 mutants. Absolute snack. Hang ate them all, growing 15 meters and boosting every single stat. The brass at the command center were losing their minds with joy. With the big bosses dead, the chance of a beast swarm dropped hard. The threat of a massive invasion basically hit zero. Mission freaking accomplished. Now we just gotta clean up the small fry over the next years. The Balian Mountains are safe zones now. Yang Xiao was all smiles. But he knew the party was over on the outer edges of civilization. Monsters at Wuhan base went invisible. That's not a win, it's a warning. They're not hiding, they're grouping up for something big, something very bad. The new cadets are shaking in their boots, too scared to even move. They're hiding inside, and barely 50 monsters have been taken down. Pathetic. At this rate, those colossal beasts are gonna stomp the base into dust. We cleared our plate here, so now it's time to handle the chaos. Let's gear up and save Wan base before those monsters eat everyone alive. Back at base, barely home for an hour before the big boss summoned me to his office. Chen Lin, you've basically wiped the Balian Mountains clean of those oversized monsters. Change of plans. Wan base is drowning, and they need a professional exterminator like you. I didn't blink. Honestly, I was getting bored with the lack of targets around here. I was already looking for a new playground anyway. Hunting is my lifeblood. Those level 40 weaklings weren't cutting it for Hai Ying's insane growth needs anymore. Yang Xiao grinned, seeing my thirst for battle. Good. The squad is already geared up. No time for talk. We moved out instantly. I shadowed the boss toward the hangar. 50 elites stood ready, flanked by a massive transport plane that screamed action. Saw the usual suspects, including Jay. Then Ji Kong rushed over, looking totally hyped. Chen Lin, I knew you wouldn't miss this party. We need your fire. Wuhan is a total disaster zone. I couldn't let you guys have all the fun. Ji Fei approached Diana, who was clinging to my hand like a tiny, adorable shadow. Look at this perfect little angel. She's still just a baby, isn't she? Warning, Chen Lin, don't you dare do anything weird or suspicious around her. Diana tilted her head, confused. Master, what exactly does weird mean? And why aren't you allowed to do weird things with me? Boom. Suddenly, every pair of eyes on the tarmac was drilling into my soul. Half looked jealous, the other half looked ready to kill me. Super awkward. I shoved everyone onto the plane before this misunderstanding got any deadlier. Meanwhile, over at Wuhan base, the air was thick enough to choke a horse. Every soldier was sweating, guns hot, and heavy artillery locked and loaded for chaos. The cadets were whispering in the corners. Are we actually staying to die? The beasts are swarming. The storm is about to break, and we're the targets. Command gave the get-out order. There's no way we clear those things. Staying is a death sentence. People are bailing, and honestly, I don't blame them. Who could survive 10,000 monsters charging at once? Not us, that's for sure. They kept sighing, desperately making up excuses to run before the bloodbath started. But Wang Feng's knuckles turned white. He growled under his breath, eyes blazing. My family's in that city. Let the beasts surge. I'm not moving an inch. 10 million lives are on the line. Even a full-scale retreat won't save them. If we break, the city burns. I'm staying to make sure that doesn't happen. Suddenly, a sleek teal transport ship sliced through the clouds like a savior. It touched down on the runway, bringing a glimmer of hope to this hellhole. Commander Cao and his top brass were waiting, looking like they'd seen a ghost. As soon as Yang Xiao stepped out, Cao Yu practically sprinted toward him. You're finally here. He knew exactly who was stepping off that plane. A level 9 powerhouse. But Yang Xiao just looked tired and shook his head. Look, Cao, my curse isn't lifted. Don't count on me for a miracle. I can't carry this solo. Cao's face fell, the weight of war showing. It's a nightmare. The beast horde is hitting us from 4 sides at once. The boss? A level 70 nightmare is calling the shots from the shadows. They're planning a synchronized slaughter. We're being surrounded, and fast. We can't focus our fire. Our lines are spread too thin to hold. He sighed, defeated, then looked up. So, what's the plan for your squad? Speed-running a massacre? Yang Xiao just smirked. The mountain? It's cleared. Every level 50 monster, nuked. Chen Lin single-handedly deleted them all. He points my way, and Elder Wu basically teleports over in shock. He shoves Yang Xiao aside, eyes glowing. Chen Lin, you absolute legend. I've been dying to meet you. My grandson is your roommate, right? Cadet Chen, move it. Your loot is waiting. Follow the hype train. He drags me toward the logistics bay like a hyperactive kid. Soldiers haul out massive black crates. These things are absolute units. Elder Wu beams. Chen, this total treasure trove is all yours. Take your time in the warehouse. I nod, feeling that power-up energy. Inside, rare metals and life crystals. It's like Christmas for warriors. I summon the silver butterfly. Time to forge some god-tier gear. Armor weight hits 163 tons. Pure heavy metal madness. One tiny step crushes the steel floor. I'm a walking earthquake now. Sharpness property maxes out. 10 layers of absolute soul-slicing lethality. Level 10 beasts? Please. Now, I'm cutting through anything below 50. 1 strike, 1 kill. Alien clans? You're basically just target practice. New lava and scale attributes unlocked. Talk about a broken OP buff. I'm itching for a test drive. Mountains, get ready for a beating. 100 rare metals fused. My combat power just went nuclear. The butterfly's ready to sting. I head out with Elder Wu. We hit the base courtyard. 100 elite fighters are waiting. Wait, I know that silhouette. Elegant, deadly, and rocking that long hair. It's Sue! I walk over to give her a casual sup. She smiles back, but Wu gets serious. The vibe turns chilly fast. Monsters are swarming. A level 69 colossal beast is leading them. Shadowhorn is coming. They're flanking us from 4 directions at once. They want to divide and conquer. It's a total tactical blitzkrieg. 2 colossal beasts per front. They're aiming straight for the cities. Wu An and Yunhei are in the crosshairs. This is the real deal. Intercept the stragglers. Cut their numbers down before we get overrun. Relieve the front lines. Every kill counts in this nightmare scenario. 8 squads of 20. Move out. Any questions for the chief? A thunderous no echoes back. Wu starts barking out the team assignments. Yang Xiao steps up. Chen Lin, you're going solo. Go wild, kid. He knows I'm a one-man army. Teaming up just slows me down. I'm cool with it, but the others, they look totally flabbergasted. Even instructors need backup. Who is this kid to fight alone? 2 minutes later, squads depart. I summon He Ming. He's massive. 100-meter wolf beast. We're sprinting toward the mountains like lightning. Deep in the ranges, the black giant wolf is a total blur. Diana's clinging to my neck, her hair whipping in the gale, a newborn angel experiencing the rush. She's loving the chaos of Earth. Forget the boring summoning space. She wants to see the world burn. And me? I'm not about to lock her up. Let's hunt. Deep in the dust-choked peaks, a nightmare tide of mutant beasts awakens. They crush stone and forest, a wave of ruin stretching hundreds of kilometers. Leading the charge, 3 titans, each over 1,000 meters tall. They march with heads held high, radiating absolute, bone-crushing dominance. Primal energy surges through their veins, a dark power waiting to explode. Below them, the mutant army makes the very crust of the earth tremble. 100,000 meters of pure, unadulterated terror shudders in unison. At headquarters, the officers' faces turn pale. The situation is beyond grim. Boom! A world-shaking blast erupts as a shadow streaks across the battlefield. A 1,000-meter wolf, wreathed in black flames, crashes the party. It moves at God's speed, tearing the very fabric of the atmosphere apart. Dozens of kilometers are vaporized instantly by the sheer force of its arrival. A savage howl pierces the sky, shattering the silence of the dying world. Shockwaves ripple out, freezing every mutant beast in their tracks with fear. The entire horde halts. Total silence. Not a single monster dares move. Tao's jaw hit the floor. Like, dude, is this seriously your plan? The mission was simple. Hit and run. Instead, he goes full Leroy Jenkins. He's charging 3 titans alone. One giant beast towers 800 meters. It's covered in crimson scales with fangs over 100 meters long. The beast snarls, "Who are you to dare block our path, flee?" But He Ming doesn't talk. He only brings the freaking heat. Black flames explode, engulfing 10,000 meters in a sea of hellfire. Death itself drifts through the air, reaping souls of level 40 monsters. Inside the fire, a 3,000-meter phantom rises like a god. Its heavy gray eyes snap open, staring down the 3 massive titans. Pure terror strikes their hearts. One look feels like an absolute death sentence. Within this domain, nothing survives. The concept of life simply ceases to exist. Even the immortal undead are forced to face their final, crushing end. High above, Diana isn't just watching. She activates the sacred blessing. The divine seal on He Ming's head glows with a blinding golden light. Already a god-tier monster, He Ming's power begins to skyrocket even further. Even using every drop of Diana's power only scratches his true potential. But that small boost is enough to turn the battlefield into hell. The death domain expands another 20,000 meters in a heartbeat. The black flames intensify, becoming an incomparable force of pure destruction. Hundreds of elite monsters are reduced to ash in mere seconds. Even their precious life crystals are swallowed whole by the hungry flames. The 3 titans roar, "You're dead meat! Kill this arrogant wolf now!" Suddenly, the world goes dark as an eerie, pale moonlight descends. A bone-chilling cold sweeps the field, making even the monsters shiver. Diana stands tall in the sky, looking down like a cold, heartless goddess. Behind her, a solitary moon hangs, casting a shadow over the carnage. 9 ring blades, dripping with dark red force, spin in a deadly dance. They streak toward the ghost flame beast like falling stars of death. The beast roars, surging with power as strange markings glow on its skin. Scars shredded its thick hide as my ring blades sliced like butter. Deep gashes opened instantly. Talk about a massive reality check. The ghost flame beast stopped, trying to swat us like flies. Too slow. Diana's mental focus steered those blades with surgical precision. They zipped up its arm, carving a 100-meter canyon of pain. While Diana played surgeon, Heiming went full beast mode on the others. He charged without hesitation. Total savage energy from our favorite wolf. Any mutant in his way. Boom! Instant bone-shattering disaster. The stone image beast roared, swinging its massive, scale-covered snout. A powerful strike aimed right for our black wolf's head. But Heiming didn't need orders. Flaming phantom claws erupted instantly. They ripped through those scales like they were made of paper. 4 bone-exposing gashes? Yeah, that's going to leave a serious mark. Then the centipede beast tried a sneaky ambush with its gross maw. Heiming just batted it aside and went straight for the throat. He clamped down on that centipede's head. Talk about a headache. That armored shell cracked like an egg. Fangs met flesh. Gross toxic blood sprayed everywhere. Seriously, someone call a janitor, the beast screamed, coiling its nasty body around Heiming like a snake. Thousands of legs tried to stab him, but Golden Light said, nope. Heiming grabbed that oversized bug and tossed it like a used tissue. It leveled a mountain peak. Talk about some serious heavy lifting. Boulders buried the beast, but Heiming wasn't done playing yet. He crushed the rocks and pinned the centipede's head down hard. Then he started savagely tearing it apart. Pure, unadulterated carnage. Meanwhile, all the flying mutants came charging toward Diana in the sky. Did she blink? Please, she's way too cool for that. She snapped her fingers, and those ring blades came screaming back. They wove through that black mass like a deadly dance of steel. One by one, those flying pests were turned into bird feed. Suddenly, Ghost Flame tried to gank Heiming while he was busy. Heiming just roared back, eyes glowing with zero fear and all rage. Still pinning the centipede, he locked into a literal titangent-sized struggle. 4 colossal monsters clashing? This is the ultimate heavyweight showdown. The earth literally crumbled for miles. It's like a world-ending earthquake. Roars and impacts echoed forever. This isn't a fight, it's an apocalypse. Other mutants ran for their lives, terrified of the shock waves. Back at the command center, everyone was staring like absolute statues. Sayu's jaw hit the floor. That wolf is only level 20. Fighting 3 titans with a 46-level gap? That's cheating. The officers swallowed hard, unable to believe the screen's data. The mountain range has transformed into a nightmare of black flames. 4 colossal beasts in a frenzy that's shaking the very planet. The destruction is insane. That brutal phantom is over a kilometer tall. It's radiating a savage aura that looks ready to devour everything. Millions of lives at stake. Super suffocating. But then, Diana finally acted, and the sky froze. Hundreds of flying mutants, deleted in one go. Their shattered remains carpeted the ground. Then, the ring blades reacted. The rings began to orbit and fuse. That dark red light exploded. As terrifying power surged through them, the very air was annihilated. 9 rings became one, forming a single, massive, dark red ring blade. A 100-meter weapon hovered before her. An aura of absolute dread erupted. Every mutant beast trembled as the true force flowed into the blade. Behind her, the silver moon began bleeding into a deep, dark crimson. Red light stained the world for miles, like hell had finally arrived. In this moment, the most devastating form of the moon was here. Diana's voice echoed, cold and heartless. Welcome to your own deaths. Instantly, the red light peaked, forming a terrifying phantom that charged. It tore through the sky, aiming for the massive centipede colossal beast. At the moment of impact, the blade didn't even slow down once. It sliced clean through that 1,000-meter monster's body like paper. Within seconds, the level 65 beast dissolved into a bloody pulp. One single strike, deleted. Even I was shocked by this insane power. Diana's annihilation form had defense-breaking skills that were straight-up scary, and she still has the even more terrifying Sun-Moon combo ahead. Yet, the Crimson Moon dimmed. That move clearly cost her a lot, but Diana still had gas in the tank. She redirected her focus. She slashed instantly toward the Ghost Flame beast. It was pure terror. The monster grew thicker skin to survive, but it didn't matter. The blade split it in 2. Then, the Crimson Moon finally collapsed. Poof. Diana's perfect adult form vanished, returning to her tiny shape. Her icy pride was gone, replaced by a look of pure innocence. She blinked, flapped her wings, and zoomed back to find her master. Meanwhile, Ming had already handled the stone beast on his side. He stood in a sea of black flames, devouring the monster's remains. In the operations room, Commander Tao was staring at the screens, dazed. It felt too good to be true. The mission was just an intercept, but I had wiped out the entire horde. By my damn self. I swept through thousands of beasts across the entire front line. My solo carry was worth more than the rest of the army combined. That meant the threat from Wan City was officially a non-issue. Tao's face lit up with joy, sweeping away his crushing anxiety. Our odds were barely 10% before. But now, there was hope. The mountain range was quiet once again, but the legend had begun. Every soldier watched in awe as the red sky slowly began to fade. My contribution was worth several times more than everyone else's efforts combined. That meant the threat from Wan City direction was now completely resolved. Cao's expression lit up with excitement, washing away his deep-seated worries. Survival odds were under 10% before. Now, we actually have hope. Out in the mountain range, the true power of a god was revealed. Hellfire just turned those corpses into a buffet for He Ming. That power-up made Hai Ying grow a whole meter taller. Stat check. 2 for him, 1 for me. We're cooking. This energy was basically pocket change for a colossal beast. But for me, total game changer. I'll take my cut. Even a third of that loot is a massive upgrade. My stats are already hitting level 30 hidden class territory. Add the silver butterflies buff, it's game over. One-shotting level 40 mutant losers, easy work for me. Level 50 bosses might need a dozen hits, but whatever. Scrapping with weak colossal beasts, no longer a pipe dream. Next stop on the tour, crushing the Wuan offensive. Wan's next.